welcome to the Noarlunga Oval for round 4 action in local football on ABC TV right across the state. Pretty good afternoon here too. Neil Cross and Tim Geneva with you this afternoon for South Adelaide hosting North Adelaide. And Tim, both sides will want to make a statement this season. They'll want to win.
Yeah, North Adelaide so close yet so far last week. 5 stole victory away from them, but really they need a win. But South, on the other hand, want their best start since '95. They want to have a 3-1 start after today.
That would be great. Well, Central's already got off to a flyer at round 4 last night at the Adelaide Oval. The Central District, well, I guess a predictable result in many ways. They've been in tremendous form, the Premiers, and they beat Port Adelaide pretty comfortably.
Well, they've got a system of winning, haven't they? And they just keep doing it. And I've got to say that their midfield is probably definitely far and away the best in the league at the moment. And Port Adelaide can learn from that and hopefully improve as the season goes on and can bat them a little bit closer next time.
A couple of shots of the crowd there. Look, 6,500 considering there was of course, the NBL Grand Final on. And
so much happening in Adelaide, wasn't there? It was just amazing, but very pleased with that crowd, and I believe, you know, without those other events on, could have pulled nearly 8 to 10, so football's alive and well at the local level.
Just have a look at the scoreboard in a moment. I feel the boys getting a little bit angry there. That's unusual. Central District, 37-point winners. Of course, one of the Gowans boys inevitably picks up a couple of goals. And Nigel Feegert obviously went forward for Port Adelaide.
Yeah, not a lot happening down back and needed a target. So he's provided it before, and he did it in his short AFL career as well. So he's definitely got the talent for that, Nigel.
Well, you mentioned South Adelaide searching for their best start to a season since '95. Mike Parsons is hoping that North Adelaide can perhaps get a start this season.
Start to today as well, Neil. Invited to lunch at the South Adelaide Rooms. An ominous sign though, the South Adelaide hierarchy were feeding on Rooster. But the lunch was about their new website. The South Adelaide Football Club have launched a new website, all the W's, safc.com. So if you're a South Adelaide supporter or if you're a footy supporter, jump on and have a look. It is full of interest today. South Adelaide, well, are they for real? North Adelaide, how much are they going to improve? Two big questions that will be answered as the afternoon unrolls in very fine conditions for Noarlunga. I think this is about my 5th trip to Noarlunga Oval, the first time I haven't had to bring the brolly. Lovely day, 20-odd degrees later in the day, just the gentlest of southeasterly breezes. A great day for football. I'm going to enjoy it.
Well, let's hope you do, Michael. Of course, that'd, I imagine, rely on a Roosters win. But look, first to South, and we had a word to Greg Anderson just a short while ago.
I thought our preparation last week was pretty good. We've sort of really worked on the hard work ethic, and we certainly put that into last week's game. And certainly North had a fantastic contest last week against Port, so it's going to be a pretty good battle. And I think that it's pretty important for us to get out on the right foot, and we'll sort of be pretty well attacking the ball.
You've seen a bit of a 70s look to the haircut there, and they've got a style reminiscent of his old club Port Adelaide in trying to minimise the number of handballs and just kick long.
They certainly bounced back well after their bad loss to Sturt, and he was saying about their work ethic and intensity around the football. If they can keep that up and Brogan gives them first look at the football, they'll be a good side this year.
Well, we just look at their lineup, and look, they have shown a lot of promise. They've been up and down, of course. They've had a couple of big wins and one loss, but we look at that side, it's pretty well balanced.
Yeah, they've got a few recruits now from their sort of local area, Langhorne Creek with Rogers, and I know Warren's from there as well, and they've got those AFL listed players that really makes it a good looking side.
And of course, on the other side of the ledger, North Adelaide so far hasn't had a real great start because they lost last week 3 points to Port Adelaide, and we just asked their coach Daryl Hart what he thought of that.
We lost the game ourselves there. We kicked 4 points in a row in that last quarter, so we've come away with an understanding that unless you put a side away and scoring goals, that you leave yourself open for that. So it was a pretty harsh lesson, but one that hopefully we've learned.
And we look at the change room there, Heath Uni, one of the players in view, and they have got a young side. I don't think either side is a player over 100 games.
Yeah, no, the competition's definitely changed now, Neil. They're a lot younger, and it's good. It makes for a good looking competition.
Well, I know there is one player over 100 games. I should correct that from both sides. Tim
Cook definitely would have played
one.
More than 100.
Yeah,
yes.
He's played more than 100 for North Adelaide, and interesting, he played in defence last week, named there again.
Yeah, it's not a bad move because he's got such poise, and you need that in your back line, and with Ray Ebel, of course, who does play well back there. It just gives them a little bit of experience around those younger guys like Morgan and Rivers, who have held themselves pretty well in the last 2 clashes.
And I'll just check my list and say that Trent Mills is the one player from South who's played 100 games. So, as we said, look, young sides looking to make a break and looking to make a start in the SANFL?
I think it'll be a great contest. South are in good form, and North Adelaide showed last week that they can mix it with the best. So I just reckon it'll be a really good contest today, and probably those that have got probably cleaner skills on the day in good conditions will win the game.
Well, look, you haven't personally seen much of South Adelaide this season, but obviously, as I said, Greg Anderson's got this idea of less. The stats reveal that less handball, more kick.
You know, look, I think he's of the Essendon of those sort of early 90s where they just had the one handball and moved the ball long, and I think that's what he's trying to instill in his South Adelaide team, and I don't think it's a bad thing. But look, two contrasting styles, because North will run the ball and they will use possession.
Well, just about set for a start, round 4 here at Noarlunga Oval, the home of the South Adelaide Football Club, as we mentioned, that website in the foreground there, www.safc.com.au. Here we go with the first bounce. So it'll be Brooks, the youngster on the Port Adelaide list, number 13 for North Adelaide, gets the tap away and in fact gets the first clean possession out of the centre for North Adelaide, down and high, and a good mark, a strong mark by Lucas Herbert, who more often than not you would expect to start in the ruck for North Adelaide, but he started up forward, taking a strong mark inside the forward 50. And Andrew Rogers, who joins us in special commentary this afternoon, that was a fair start for North.
Yeah, Lucas Herbert needs to impose himself on the game early. I mean, we've seen him over the last couple of weeks. He's got better and better. He's getting fitter and fitter. He has to really put his stamp on the game early and really stand up for his young North Adelaide teammates.
We just see him lining up, taking an awful lot of time. He's back in the centre square and slowly strolling in. Not much of a breeze to contend with, just a question of distance and accuracy, and in going for distance he's lost a bit of accuracy.
Yeah, Daryl Hart spoke about scoreboard pressure, how they kicked 4 points late in the last quarter there last week. It's exactly the type of start that the North required to get on the board, and unfortunately Lucas Herbert wasn't good enough then.
Ball goes over the boundary line and still in South's attacking zone.
And you can see the South Adelaide bench to start with. Mervyn Cataneri sitting there. He hasn't started on the bench too much this year. Newman and Trevor Rigney as well.
Thrown in, Brogan, make his way to the front. Herbert, beautiful tap though. Got it back. Trying to pick the ball up, play Sampson, gets back to his feet, did well. Now hitting the ball hard and working out. Good snap at goal, to the top of the square, in front and taking the mark. Looks like it's going to be Hargraves, it is, yes. That was a good mark in the end.
Yeah, Daniel Hargraves put his body in front. I mean, the pack was coming down on him. He decided to put him, seen on replay here, put his body in front. He was well protected by James McEntee behind him. James probably could have done a better effort towards it, but still achieved the right result, and Daniel Hargraves lines up for goal.
Well, he shouldn't miss this. This will get North off to an absolute flyer. He's kicked a lot of goals in the SANFL over the last couple of years, and he's added to it again. So he gets the first one of the day here at Noarlunga for the Roosters. They're 1-1-7, South yet to score.
I see Daniel Hargraves as the real barometer of how North are actually going to go today. Over the last few weeks, he's been a little bit down on form. He really needs to impose himself on the game today. Exactly the same way he did it there. Got himself in front of the pack, took the pack on. You can see here on replay, he's the man standing his ground. Right, takes it on his chest, a nice mark, finishes well. He's going to be important for North Adelaide today.
Good start from Daniel Hargraves. I noticed in the room before the game him applying about half a jar of Vicks Vapor Rub. He has got the flu rather badly, so if he can get going, it'll be good for him.
So he obviously doesn't just like the smell, Michael. The ball back in the middle, and again Brooks first hand to the ball, and North Adelaide again released from the centre. Fowden closing on it, just bustled off the ball and then held his opposition there in Hutchison. So Hutchison will take the free kick, comes this side of the ground, the grandstand side. Damasi stretched well, good grab low. Now he's back into the centre. And South Adelaide a chance to go forward. Damasi gets it back in the 1-2, perhaps not the best option. And eventually Manhood gets clear and kicks it forward. Don't know if that was where it was meant to go to, but in the end it's found Tim Rogers. And he looks up forward. It's fairly crowded up there. Just takes his time and kicks it up in long. North Adelaide take the mark though, and that was Rivers, cleared it to the far side, and they're away and running, and this is what Daryl Hart will want to see, just the use of the ball. Tim Cook uses it well, And they spread the ball around through the hand passes. Finally to Laddams, has a bounce. Not much in the way of leads coming towards him, so he just takes his time, and in the end he just pops it up, and Herbert's under it. That's the target to ground, and eventually it'll be a bounce down.
North have certainly started very well here. They've been very clean. They've continued on from last week. If they can just, as I said, translate into scoreboard pressure, South will, they'll just put some added pressure on South.
Lucas Herbert doing the ruck work up forward for North, while he's going to play centre forward by the looks of it. Trent Mills around his body. Trying to get it clear to Sampson, running with the flight of it, handled it beautifully. Got a space in front of him that he can use, looking for Rogers. Also Murray. Murray will get to his feet quickly. This is Alan Murray, brother of Derek. About 60 out, goes short, and that's a very good kick. He held back on it and did it particularly well and hit Trent Allen on the chest.
Just talking about Daniel Hargraves being a real barometer of North Adelaide. I think Alan Murray's the key for South up forward. If he can get his hands on the ball, he actually plays tall for a smaller bloke, can take an overhead mark. If he can finish well, they'll win the game.
So Trent Allen, he doesn't miss too many. He's a very good kick for goal when he plays up forward. Kicked 10 last year in a game, and he started off with 1 today for South, and it's their first. And they trail North 1-1-7 to South 1 goal straight 6.
Former Port Adelaide Magpies player has been recruited here to South in a swap for Shane Ellen. He really needs to, he's played senior AFL football. He even needs to stand up and help these younger South blokes out.
So a pretty good start to the game overall. Both sides have had their opportunities and taken them as they've come. Daniel Ebert just trying to get the hand pass forward. Sampson did well with one hand, balanced, kicked the ball forward, got it to Rogers, who circles around, goes infield, in towards centre half forward. Nobody get a hand on it. Crabb was the one that came through for South Adelaide. Finally, it's Murray. That's Alan Murray. Or was it Derek? Was that a 4 or a 3 or a 1 or what was on his back?
I think you're right, Derek.
Interested in the Derek Murray matchup with Brett Knowles. Knowles was very good for North Adelaide last week. Be interested in that matchup today.
Brogan gets the hand on the ball. North Adelaide though clear from the pack. Just a long kick out of defence. Looking up to centre half forward. And Hutchison hands it off to Johnson on his left leg. That's his natural leg. Comes wide to the wing. And just a fumble and a stumble there from Murray. And it's allowed North Adelaide in again. And just doubling back behind the play, they managed to take advantage. And that's Damon White is going to line up for goal. Just a bad fumble at the wrong time.
Yeah, you can see Alan Murray, he did fumble, but also lost his feet. It gave the North Adelaide opponent a chance to get the ball forward for White to have a shot.
Well, it was a shot.
Shot to pieces.
Yeah, I don't think he meant that. And the ball out of bounds on the full, so South Adelaide an opportunity through Steele to bring the ball down this flank.
That's a ball. Johnson switches it out. Mills kick long to the wing. Contest there, but that's almost paid. No, hit the deck. Fowden will pick it up. Paris Fowden around his body. Only McGay there for North, but coming in from the side, making a good contest for North Adelaide. And a little bit of a dust-up it's Laddams just involved there.
It's very much the North Adelaide team plan to go long to centre half forward, putting Lucas Herbert there, long to centre half forward. If he can't take the mark, bring it to the front for his smaller crummers.
Herbert in front with Brogan. Brogan got over the top, did it well to Meekins. Jackson Crabb on his left. Oh, not a great kick. Bowden picks it up, gives it off. Crashing back through, trying to make up for his error was Crabb. That was a good effort. But we're going to have a stalemate here and have a bounce down. Half forward flank for North Adelaide in attack, and they've done a fair bit of it today.
They've continued on their form from Port Adelaide last week. They need to be competitive. They need to compete at every aspect of the game. Tackle, shepherd, block, whatever they need to do.
Well, here's Herbert in perhaps a more natural role for him as ruckman. Just got it over the boundary line in front of the main grandstand here at Noarlunga. Just that score check. North Adelaide by 1 point, 8.5 minutes into the opening term. So Herbert will go with Brogan. Herbert directs it down well, but Crabb read it best. And now we'll have another ball up, I would have thought.
It's good playing close there. You see Clay Sampson tuck it underneath his arm. Not prepared, sorry, Manhood it was, not prepared to give the ball out, that's okay. The umpire's not going to ping you for holding the ball. Let's start again with a 50-50 contest.
Brogan comes in and seems to get the better of that one. Knocked it forward. Well done by Manhood. Got into space. Kicks it into space as well. Out in front of Murray. Did well. Handled it well. Now he's caught. And the umpire will probably come in. He's letting it go. Oh, and eventually pinged him.
It's very harsh, isn't it, Neil? I mean, the bloke's made the ball his object. He's the one making all the play. The North Adelaide opponent sucked back off him. Hasn't just tackled him eventually, and he gets pinged for it. You're not giving the bloke going for the ball a real chance to get rid of it.
Lashenko up the flank. I think Herbert was pushed out of the contest by Brogan, so he'll take the free kick. And no, it said Adam Morgan was infringed upon, so he'll take the free kick. Adams is in front. He's going to have to compete, but it was too easy for Brogan. Worked his way back. Kicks it across the ground. To a nice paddock for Clay Sampson. Delivers up forward, and that was a great pass and good take. In front of his eyes. Ben Warren. He's another Langhorne Creek recruit, I believe, with Rogers. Off to Sampson. He's had a shot at goal, and I reckon he's kicked it. Cleared the pack easily, and just shows what a class player he is. Getting South Adelaide's second goal and his first.
That goal was set up by the switcher play across the half-back line. See, Dean Brogan took the mark, switched the play across to Clay Sampson, who worked really hard down, kicked it out in front of Warren. Warren then took the mark. You can see him play on here to Clay Sampson, who's worked hard down in the pocket. The skills of Clay Sampson, he's been highly regarded by Adelaide, Melbourne, and Elmshire Crows premiership player. So you don't play in premierships if you haven't got high skills.
Well, Sampson coming off his wing, doing the job. And Brogan gets over the top there. Crabb scrambles the ball forward over and out of the hands of Rogers. Morgan comes the other way. Blind turn, hand pass, kick off the ground eventually. Now it's inside 50 for South. Hall gets onto it. He had his non-preferred foot, didn't do a great job of kicking the ball. As a result, opportunity for North Adelaide to clear their defensive area and get on the far side of the ground. Knowles, his disposal was pretty good to Wintle. Wintle's got a bit of space in front of him. He opts to go the kick, and across comes Brogan. And together with Johnson for South Adelaide, they get the ball to ground. North, though, have the numbers. Now it's down to Laddams. He's closing inside 50. He's a very good kick on that left leg, and he finds Hargraves. Although on the bounce, Hargraves swings around on the right foot. Opportunity, and hit the post. And Daniel Hargraves, as you saw there, just showing a tad of emotion.
He's been a lot more exuberant, a lot more outgoing today. He's been very much in his shell in the last few weeks that we've seen on ABC TV. He looks as though he really wants to play footy today, and it's a very good start. North need him to stand up to be really competitive today.
North zone working reasonably well here. Sampson, an easy grab, played on quickly. Move it out well. Hall under pressure as he gets his kick away. Can be Murray to hit it first. DeMacy got in his way, but then drags the North player off the football. Back in there, Murray trying to get it out. I'll let it bounce down. Centre half forward, the true centre half forward position for South Adelaide.
It's been a good start, hasn't it? I mean, both sides going hard at the footy, both sides finding their feet so far. We're waiting for one team to get the ascendancy here. Something will happen to change the game, and someone will get the ascendancy.
Ryan McGay in there, fighting hard. Stalemate, umpire said, we'll have another bounce. A few players around the football at this stage. But, first quarters, just finding one another out. Brogan's winning taps fairly easily. North Adelaide clear to the centre of the ground. It's picked up well here. Sampson again over the top. Nice play. Warren on his left. Comes up wide. Running hard, trying to meet the football. Here's Rogers. The handball off. Slightly smothered. Smashing through and backing up some work was Newbury. Got to the Hall. Hall on his left. Just made the pass. Good attack on the football by Mills. And took a great mark, and now gets himself a shot at goal.
You see Trent Mills show his experience there. I mean, Hall was under pressure. The kick under pressure was always going to drop short. Mills just made his way quietly to the front, in front of his North Adelaide opponent. Gets a reward now for playing in front.
Well, he's not too far out. Good kick from about 35. Comes in and will make the distance. I reckon he pushed it just off to the right, and that's one that Greg Anderson would have liked. I reckon a good 3 zip start, but they're going to go to 2-1-13, North Adelaide 1-2-8.
As a senior player at South Adelaide, Trent Mills needs to kick those goals. I mean, once again, I talk about scoreboard pressure. That's putting pressure back on North Adelaide. Now, he didn't kick the goal, he needs to make up for it.
So Tim Cook brings the ball back in for North Adelaide, over to the far side of the ground. And in dispute on the ground now, McGahey, and they're all overrunning it. They can't get a clean possession. Finally, it comes clear through Casey. He goes long, down looking for Herbert. Did well to use his strength and got a hand pass away to McGahey. Shrugs a tackle. Inside, he's got a player running for him. It's Knowles. Knowles in turn heads long and, well, caught behind was Hargraves. As a result, South Adelaide able to clear the ball pretty well. Over to this side of the ground. Leading it on his own with plenty of space in front of him, Damasi. He's got Rogers ahead of him with a bit of space. Rogers now looks up and there's another player loose, and the kick just wasn't good enough. Ebel intercepts for North.
It was a disappointing kick by Brett Knowles, and on his left foot, had time to straighten and be constructive for North. Decided to go on his left foot, turn the ball over. We now see the ball down at South Adelaide end.
So Morgan with the ball. This is not a good kick. Newbury will take that easily. There was no error in that one whatsoever. Newbury switches over the half-forward flank with Trent Allen just juggled what should have been an easy mark. He's normally got very good hands. Go longer still. Want to get it inside 50 or bounce over the top. The Macy's there. Rivers has tapped it towards the boundary line, gets it over the line for a throw-in. It's 15.5 minutes into the first term. It's South 13, North 8.
Tim Geneva spoke about in the pre-game warm-up about who's going to use the ball better. We can see both teams are turning the ball over consistently. Whichever team settles the better and uses the ball better will probably go and win the game.
Rogers did some good work to get the tap down. Hawks kicked it off the ground, but not to his team's advantage, unfortunately. Back up on Knowles trying to get it out. Good shot. Out of bounds on the full. Did he just sneak it in for a behind? I reckon the umpire's going to let him have a point, Clay Sampson. So it was a good quick effort, but not accurate. South will move to 2-2-14. North 1-2-8.
Started really well, Clay Sampson is putting a lot of pressure on the North Adelaide wingman. Daryl Hart would be probably having a look at that matchup as we speak.
Well, not a lot of people behind the goals at that end of the ground. As a result, it takes a while to get the ball back. It's with Ebert. Well, that's his non-preferred foot, and it showed a bit, didn't it? Wintle cleans it up, though, and North Adelaide managed to get out of a bit of trouble, or do they? No, poor kick. As a result, Sampson will take a kick for South Adelaide, another opportunity to go forward. Looks up, and there's no real marking target there, so he comes inside. Jackson Crabb just lobs it up in the air. And, oh, big mark over the top. Well done, Orman Allen, and that famous leap.
It's the greatest vertical leap ever, isn't it? How he does it's beyond me.
He's an amazing player, how he can flash into the game, do something great, and then go missing for 10 minutes. And unfortunately, it's been a trait of Trent Allen's career that he just he does that consistently.
It's a real floating mark, that one, and his kick not good enough. I think it's just away to the right. It is. So South Adelaide with the opportunities and the skills have let them down in front of goal. 17.5 minutes in, and 15 plays 8.
Geez, wouldn't he frustrate coaches? You know, it takes a great mark and then misses the easy goal.
Timmy Cook trying to get it out as far and as wide as he can. Good mark in front, Brooks. I like the look of this kid. He'll develop into something. Going up to Herbert. Johnson's right on his hammer. Quite interfere enough for a free kick. We'll have a throw in centre wing of the outer side at Noarlunga here. Local footy on the ABC.
I like the way Lucas Herbert is presenting himself. He's presenting himself so that they've got something to look for down the ground. If he just competes, brings the ball to the front, takes the occasional grab, that's all Daryl Hart wants him to do.
Rogan just slaps it forward, but didn't really think about it because there was none of his players there. Knowles gets hold of it. Kicks it long towards centre half forward. South's defence has been good so far. Working it out very well. Rogers again is the target. He's got to get down lower than that if he wants to get a hard volley though. In a battle with Morgan, and Morgan did it well. Got a handle off to Fowden, who's under pressure. Slips it out wider still. Knowles got it back to Morgan and they'll run it away. James got a couple of targets and he's going to miss both, is he? No, good work. I think that's Brooks just chipping in late, taking the mark.
Tried hard to miss both, didn't he?
He did that.
I'm not sure Brooks was the target, to be honest, boys.
So now Brooks will take the kick nonetheless. just outside 50. It's a long one over the back. North Adelaide, no. It'll be Johnson just clears it for South, straight back to Brooks. Have another go.
End.
He's kicking a catch after training. He just lobs it out to Wintle. Wintle then goes even wider to Laddams. Inside the Wintle, they work the 1-2, and Wintle now puts it up in front of goal. There's a couple of North players there. South managed to get the ball to the ground. Now it comes down. Chance, opportunity, and it's a goal. Well done. And that was McEntee, the ex-basketballer, who finally put it through. People in the stand not too impressed, but let me tell you, the North Adelaide boys are.
It was just perseverance. I mean, Brooks, they pumped it back in again. You can see the ball come in high. Everyone competes, was crying out for just a bloke there front and centre. And James McEntee's got off the ground and got up and get it. So if you're a North crummer in the forward line, you can see the blokes are going to compete. Let's get front and centre so that you can reap the rewards of these blokes bringing it to the front.
It was like end-to-end, wasn't it? Everybody wanted to go up for the screamer. Back in the centre. Murray tries to get a quick disposal away. Crabb should be able to pick this up. Does so. Spun out of a tackle. Was held on to a bit long. Should have got a free. McGay's in there fighting hard. Started the game well. Brooks in there as well for North. Good tackle by Hall on McGay. And we should see a bounce. So it's a couple of good attacks on the football by both sides then.
Yeah, you can see McGay the first time actually let the ball get out. Look, hold the ball in his area. Look, that's Scott for 50-50. The second time held it in the area. A lot better result for North Adelaide.
South Adelaide. Bounce downs on their half-forward line. Rogers will do the ruck work. Didn't get to him. Stolen pretty well by Sampson. At this distance, he kicked one earlier like this, and has he? No, he's gone to the right again. So he's got 1 goal 2 to his name, and South have 2 goal 3. Or 2 goal 4 now. So
Clay Sampson is tearing North apart. He's had 7 kicks, 2 handballs already.
Yeah, he's been very good early. I mean, that's the sort of goal you expect Clay Sampson to kick. There is a little bit of breeze there. Now, if you're going to miss, let's miss to the opposite side.
So brought back into play. In front, taking a good mark. Paris Bowden, he started well. Evil's running down. It's a quick kick away. White trying to get the pick up and give, but couldn't do so to Glashenko. But Travis now picks it up. Little give, good quick kick by Bowden. Found Damon White. He want to move it quickly to find Herbert, but he's gone back, and now goes long towards Herbert. Behind Hargraves, now hits the front. James was front and centre, but it beat him and went to Brogan. So the ruckman does the roving. Gets it off, kicks it towards Murray. Good hands out in front of his face. Now chips further field where Hall is. He can go straight up the middle, head towards a goal square. It's clearing everybody's head, but I don't think it's accurate. And it'll be yet another point for South Adelaide, so they're starting to frustrate their supporters. 2 goals, 5-17. North Adelaide 2-2-14.
You can see the value of bringing the ball back through the middle and back through the centre. Looked up, Derek Murray looked up into the middle. He had Hall in the middle. Hall plays on quickly. You have a shot at goal. If he goes back, kicks at the centre half forward, you're still back to a 50-50 contest.
So Cook brings it into a 50-50 contest. It's centre half forward for South. Good hand pass over there from Rogers. Came across to Damasi. Damasi, well, didn't quite work out the way he wanted it to. He fell backwards trying to kick it. Wintle opposed there, and he did well, but Manhood comes through. On the left leg, his kick was spot on. Well done by Nick Manhood, and Alan Murray's finished with the ball and the shot at goal. And we're now 22.5 minutes into the quarter.
Yeah, Nick Manhood took him on there. You can see him bust through the pack. I mean, that's the sort of intensity that the game has actually been lacking so far. Decided to take him on. A lucky kick gets it to Alan Murray. Gets a shot at goal by playing in front. Let's see if he can finish.
Alan Murray lines it up. A kick from just inside 50. And he's got distance and he's not got the accuracy. You heard a bit of a groan from the crowd there.
Oh, I'll be groaning. That's wasted opportunities, Andrew Rogers.
Yeah, it's wasted opportunities, but the thing is they've missed to the same side every time. There is a little bit of breeze going to that side. Look, if you're going to miss, give it a chance and miss to the left-hand side rather than the right-hand side.
Take a hint. Cook goes straight down the middle. Bowden is going to run hard at this, but Brooks is an outstanding young player, isn't he? Great grab again. He now goes straight up the corridor, looking for Herbert. He should mark. He has. I thought he was going to miss it, but the big mitt went up and brought it down. Must have been the glove. So Lucas can be a good target. Goes long, it's going to drop short, plays in front. That should be a great. Hargraves again, fired up. You got the ball, Daniel, go back and have a shot, mate.
I really see the North height worrying South Adelaide. I mean, that was all that was then was a kick to a mark, kick to a mark, kick to a mark. Daniel Hargraves doing the right thing and playing in front. You saw last week he took a mark and gave away the free kick. Let's hope he's learnt from that and go back and kick the goal. I mean, the North probably haven't had the best of the last 10 minutes. They can still be in front at quarter time.
So Daniel Hargraves already kicked one for the Roosters this afternoon. Comes in, he's dead in front, he shouldn't really have much trouble, and he does, and he gets his second. And North Adelaide's third. So South with a lot of opportunities, missed them all. And North reply with a goal. 3-2-20 leads South 2-6-18. And the black armband's being worn by the North Adelaide side today in memory of Mike Patterson, who was a premiership coach for him in 71 and 72.
Doesn't that hurt South Adelaide? I mean, Greg Anderson, they've had all the play, they've had shots at goal, the last 3 or 4 shots at goal. North go forward once, Hargraves takes marks, converts. North are now better off than what South are.
So into time on, and again South Adelaide, good tap out to Crabb. Crabb's pass out in front of Murray, and it just finds the boundary line before he can find the ball.
Jackson Crabb probably should have straightened further and hit the top of the square. He goes wide, he misses Derek Murray, the ball goes out of bounds. It now reverts back to a 50-50 contest. Look, let's hit the top of the square, put some pressure on North late in the quarter.
So 2 points the margin in favour of North Adelaide. South Adelaide with a chance to perhaps narrow the margin, but ball out of bounds again, right over on the far side. See 25, almost 26 minutes gone in the opening term here at Noarlunga. So Morgan will come in and the ball will spill towards North Adelaide's advantage, and they get it up towards the wing, and Herbert again, but Johnson did well just in front of him, just tapped it over the line and content to force another throw in.
Yeah, Peter Johnson actually needs to run off Lucas Herbert. Lucas Herbert had a very interrupted pre-season. Peter Johnson actually needs to run off him and make Lucas Herbert accountable and test his fitness level out.
Brooks and Brogan. Brooks' time. Just a little tap. Hall did well. Steps inside a couple. Got class on his left foot as he gets it away. The danger zone here. Got over the back. Morgan gave it off. Under pressure. Ended up being a very, very good tackle in the forward line by Murray. And just kept the ball in the air. So excellent effort from the little man, Derek Murray. Look at that. And of course, they're all teammates, aren't they? The power of these blokes, but playing against one another today. Out of the air, Rogers took the ball, tackled to the ground. Good work by Ebert. And Morgan. He's a good competitor, Morgan, but just learning the game, I reckon, at the moment, Andrew Rogers.
Yeah, I think Tim Rogers has probably had the better of him early in this game. He's presented himself. Adam Morgan hasn't really given him much respect so far.
Fair enough. First job, of course, as a defender is to stop your man before you start peeling off.
There's the centre though, right?
No, good point. That ends the first quarter. Seeing North Adelaide 3-2-20, leading South Adelaide 2-6-18.
I think out of the two coaches, I think probably Greg Anderson would be the most disappointed of that quarter. Daryl Hart, you can see he's walking out to his huddle now. He would be quite impressed with that North Adelaide start. I mean, they've continued on from last week. It could have well been a Central Districts versus North where they didn't compete. They've actually competed early here today. They've made the tackles, they've put pressure on South. South looking to get their free running game going. That's served them well over the last 2 or 3 weeks, being the only hiccup being the second half against Sturt. Now, I'd suggest that Greg Anderson would try to free up some more South players so they can use their skills, so they can transform this ascendancy they had probably in that quarter to put some scoreboard pressure back on North.
So quarter time at the Noarlunga Oval, and it sees the scoreboard looking like this. North Adelaide by 2 points. Certainly an interesting opening, Tim. I mean, like you said, South Adelaide obviously wasted opportunities.
Yeah, and early on I think a lot of the skills didn't really quite hit the targets, and South, though, I think probably had 60% of the play in that term. Didn't convert. North Adelaide, when they made their chances, they made the best of them.
Well, look, Clay Sampson's had a good opening term. He's well, it's the first time South Adelaide's had co-captains, and he's one of them, along with Trent Mills, and he's certainly started pretty well.
Well, that was a good goal, and one you'd expect from him. He's a class act, and he had another opportunity late in the quarter from a similar position of miss. So he's kicked one goal too, but he's getting plenty of the football. I think that's the main thing.
Well, Trent Allen is another player. Look, he spoke pre-season about wanting to get away from Port Adelaide and create some history, and geez, an enigma, isn't he? Like, that's a great mark.
He's got the greatest vertical leap I've ever seen on a guy, and he just launched himself from the platform and just rose above everybody and took that mark. But he didn't convert, and Trent has to do that to make himself a really good forward.
And that's what I was going to say. Yeah, we didn't show the highlight of the kick because it wasn't much of a highlight, was it? A bit unfortunate. Another example of the Panthers perhaps letting themselves down. Now at the other end, James McEntee just showed that look, if you get to your feet in a hurry, you never know what can happen.
Yeah, well, Andrew Rogers was correct here. He said everybody went up. There was nobody front and centre. You look at McEntee back to his feet, picked it up, crumbed it, and snapped himself an easy goal in the end. But that was just probably some discipline there from some other players. So
there, a look at the scoreboard, and as we said, 8 opportunities, or maybe more, for South Adelaide, and North Adelaide just the 5, but North Adelaide manages to lead by 2 points.
Just the goal kickers at quarter time. Trent Allen with 1, Clay Sampson with 1, and for North Adelaide, Hargraves with 2 and McEntee with 1.
Well, as you can see, South Adelaide playing the way Greg Anderson wants, with 47 kicks and just 14 handballs. Individually for South, Clay Sampson had 9 possessions and a host of players with 5, including Hall, Hutchinson, Newbury, Manhood and Rogers. For North, the leading possession winner for them is Adam Morgan, centre-half back, with 8. Brett Knowles has had 7 possessions. Barry Brooks 6 kicks and 4 marks, and Foden also 6 possessions.
Yeah, well, as we see, Tim, I mean, a lot of possessions for North Adelaide. I think they're actually, in terms of goals scored, the least efficient at getting goals in terms of possessions versus goals.
Yeah, but they were a bit cleaner in the forward line than South were, and South, with some of their opportunities, should have nailed some goals. So they will be disappointed with that. I just believe that they've got to work on it this quarter and make sure that they're there at half time.
Well, I'll be interested to hear just how Greg Anderson is trying to turn his troops around. Let's go down and just listen to Greg Anderson now.
Make sure that they concentrate on this.
And Greg Anderson, you can hear just talking to his troops. Interesting the way he's got it structured early. He's got 3 assistants, and each of them takes a group of the backs. John Griffin looked after. Little Mark Naylor looked after the rucks and rovers, and Anderson himself looked after the forwards. But I think they're pretty satisfied with the amount of ball that they did get. Greg Anderson just looking for his players in the back half to tighten up a little bit. Daryl Hart, on the other hand, he's very upbeat, very positive. Just restructured the way he's going to use his ruckman in the back half. But Daryl Hart, I think, quietly pleased with the effort from his boys in that quarter.
Well, every reason, I suppose, to be satisfied you're in front on the board. But it's interesting, look, Greg Anderson talking about defence, and I know during the call you certainly said they were standing up pretty well.
Well, they were, I thought, and really most of the time they worked it out pretty well, but North made most of their opportunities, and that's what South didn't do at the other end. Like I said, they had 60% of the play. All they've got to do is just sustain that level, and if you keep having shots and keep getting inside 50 the way they are, then it's going to convert eventually. So it's just going to be work rate for South at the moment. North, on the other hand, have to pick up their work rate, I reckon, because they're cleaner in their forward line and they'll convert more often.
Well, look, you've had 1 quarter to look at both sides. I mean, they really, I think both clubs want to make a step forward this season. Obviously, South has started pretty well, and North Adelaide, you know.
I know both sides have got their actual, probably their goals for the season, and South's would be to make the 5. They want to make finals this year, and to do that, you've got to get a good start. And 3-1 at this stage would be a very good start. For North, on the other hand, I know that they want to win several games, and if it gets them in the finals, well, fair enough, but they got to start from scratch.
So Daryl Hart just pointing the way for North Adelaide. We'll go back down to Michael.
Yes, with me, the defensive coach of the South Adelaide Panthers. John, what were your instructions to your defensive lads then?
beat their opposition, mate. No, it's we had plenty of the ball. We were into our 50-15 times to North about 3 or 4, and we got caught out missing our set shots. And I've said that's the most dangerous time in footy. When you miss a set shot, that is the most dangerous time. If it comes down, you pay twice on the scoreboard.
We'll see who pays this quarter. Thanks, John.
So second quarter underway. Thanks for that, Michael. South Adelaide trailing by 2 points. And Brogan gets over the top of his opponent first up. That looked a bit high. No call from the umpire. Crabb managed to get it back to Mills over the shoulder. High into the forward line to Marzi. Got to the front. Murray came over the top. Crash. And still the ball in dispute on the ground. Murray then infringed. And as a result, North Adelaide will get a free kick. So they clear through Glashenko to the far side of the ground. That's a good grab by Brooks. Immediately inside to Knowles. Knowles looking up forward for Hargraves. Got pushed out. Umpire said, yes, you did, illegally. So a free kick for North Adelaide, an opportunity to get a score on the board early in the second term.
Yeah, Daniel Hargraves gets the present, or I suppose the free kick for playing in front. I mean, he's presented himself. He's played in front. The South Adelaide bloke just edged him underneath the ball. Yeah, fairly soft, but and he gets the reward for playing in front. I mean, if you play from behind, it's very hard to get pushed in the back, Timmy. So
yep,
he presented himself.
Ashley Manuel, though, rightfully so, was trying to explain to the umpire what he'd done.
They won't change their decision, Timmy.
No, you're right.
So Hargraves with an opportunity to finish the job, and he does so very effectively. So North Adelaide get out to an 8-point lead early in the second term.
It really is a difference in the game. North have taken the most of their opportunities so far. We saw last week against Port in the last quarter. They missed 3 or 4 goals late in the game that could have really put the game beyond doubt. They paid the penalty in the end. South Adelaide are now paying the penalty for not kicking those goals that we saw in the first quarter, and not learning from their teammates' kicks that they had previously.
Well, you're right, there was a couple of set shots that were missed, and that's what Daniel Hargraves has been able to do for North Adelaide. He's got 3 already. Back in the centre, Brooks tries to just ease it down, and there's going to be a free kick played for hanging on. Go to Ebert, switch it out, the running Morgan. Comes up to Herbert. Herbert should take the grab. It comes front and centre though. Laddams picks it up eventually. Not a great handball. James was under a lot of pressure as Lucas Herbert tried to drop the ball over the line for a try. Jackson Crabb sneaks it out left, finds Johnson. And this is what Andrew Rogers wants him to do, run off Herbert. Gets his kick up towards half forward, fairly wide, and not much Rogers could do about keeping that ball inside the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in. Outer side of Noarlunga here. North Adelaide lead by 8 points. Morgan gets it front and centre looking for Wintle, and Darryl Wintle's had real slow starts to his matches so far. He doesn't get a lot of the ball early, he picks it up in the second half, but I'd like to see him get a good first quarter under his belt.
Yeah, of course, coming back from injury from last week, Tim, could be just finding his feet, just getting the pace of the game so far. I'd expect Darryl Wintle to work his way into the game.
Brogan, 2 or 3 grabs out of the air, couldn't quite take it. Wintle's just riding him into the like the first at Morphettville today. And we'll have another bounce down. Virtually on the wing at the Noarlunga Oval, out of side.
I think this really suits North Adelaide. I mean, they're continuing on from last week where they put a lot of pressure on Port Adelaide. South need to get it out in the open so they can use their skills and hurt North Adelaide on the scoreboard.
Well, an awkward bounce. Wintle came over the top, finally Brogan. His hand pass was quick. Newbury couldn't quite handle it. Now under pressure, Laddams just gets the ball another 20 or 30 metres in the air and forward. Brooks taps it to the side. Hutchison, though, intercepts it. Well done for South Adelaide. His kick, though, let him down. Out of bounds on the full with Crabb in a bit of space.
That was exactly what we're talking about early in that quarter. The first quarter, we spoke about how they're letting themselves down with their delivery. There's another example of letting yourself down with delivery. Jackson Crabb was off and running. Missed his kick. Now we see North Adelaide with the opportunity.
Paris Fountain just boots the ball as long and as high as he can. South Adelaide with the numbers back there. Mills overran it. Now the ball on the ground. Was it Mills? It must have been Hutchison.
Isn't it great to see Lucas Herbert? I'm probably harping on a little bit, but he's just competing, and that's all Darryl Hart would want him to do. Just compete, takes the occasional mark. Great. If he doesn't, he brings the ball to the front for his promise to be front and centre.
8 points the margin. 4.5 minutes into the second term. Brogan again comes over the top. And somehow it got to Wintle. Closes inside 50, has a ping on goal. It's going to land right on the line and be forced through for a behind.
Yeah, Darryl Winter, you get the ball forward. I mean, he's in a quandary there. Does he go for the goal? Didn't quite make the distance. Does he kick it to the top of the square? Took the onus on himself and unfortunately couldn't quite finish. Don't know about the option, that's all.
So Johnson, that is almost a torque pass.
A very hard kick to do, Tim.
Very hard. But it came off for him, Newbury. His left foot and wide, looking for the running Murray. Murray did that well, just held Edith off. Just enough to take the chest mark. He's looking inboard there for Rogers, but Derek Murray, he can kick from about 50 metres out, and he's not a bad leg. I'd almost back him to make the distance. It's whether he hooks the football or not, trying to get that distance.
Really hasn't got any options now, Tim. He's taken his time. He really has to kick the goal.
Derek Murray coming in and giving it a good look, but hit the post, and you can hear that is made of some sort of metal. It rung in everybody's ear, I reckon, down there. Hit the post, and South yet again, 2 goals, 7 now. 19, trail North Adelaide 4-3-27.
It's the slightest breeze I've ever seen here in Noarlunga, but it is just flowing a little bit to that side and just pushing their kicks that side. South need to learn. They still haven't learned from their first quarter, I suppose.
So North Adelaide, and that's Murray's direct opponent, Ebert, clearing the ball from defence. Herbert tossed Johnson aside. Now he's over the ball. Now he's in trouble. And, oh, well, he did well. They got it out. Over the ball was Hutchison. Just got it back towards Manhood. Manhood is trailed by Wintle, but he did well. Got the hand pass out to Johnson, now at the back, Mills. Mills in turn across to Crad. He kept it inside. No, he didn't.
He tried.
He tried.
It was great hassling there by North Adelaide. They were outnumbered, you know, 3-2, 4-3. They just kept at them and at them and at them. They forced a boundary throw in. The ball's still now in their forward line.
So Brogan will go, well, they'll just walk around Herbert. Then he gave, well, I don't know how he disposed of that properly, but it doesn't matter. It ends with Hutchison. And for the Panthers, he goes downfield and the kick intercepted by Ebert. Well done. He's obviously tagging Murray.
Ebert with his disposal, fairly wide to Wintle, and Wintle had to make a great contest, but Mills stood his ground in front too with a lot of courage. And copped the knock as the ball went over the boundary line.
The thing I didn't like about Daniel Ebert, he didn't even look back in the middle. Let's have a look back in the middle, see if there's any free players. All he did was went wide. You now see it out of bounds. It's back to a 50-50 contest.
It's hard to get the ball off that side too once it's out there at Noarlunga. South allowed to play on with a free kick. Crab on his left foot. Hits the target Rogers. He didn't quite take the ball. He's trying to get it up on to DeMacy. Nice little give. Nandle now with an opportunity up forward. Contest. Good work. Rivers. Wide. North Adelaide. James. Oh no. The guy's been paid a free kick for hanging on. And I thought they were going to mess it up down there, North Adelaide, but they got away with it.
Yeah, he was lucky. He didn't take possession of the footy. It was more a fumble than anything. I don't think it was good play. Should have taken possession of the footy and cop your lot in line.
Ebert. Quick give. Knowles. Then come over the top. Still fairly wide. White took the mark, gave it off quickly to Cook. Can give it to Casey, but chose to kick. Up forward over the back. Manuel. He's just disposed of it not too well either. And taking it over the boundary line was Manhood because he didn't see any other options.
Didn't actually catch it on camera then. Lucas Herbert, showing all his experience, actually put a shepherd on there. He shepherded his South Adelaide opponent away so that White could take the mark unattended. So it was great play by Lucas Herbert.
Herbert that time just managed to get his hand to the ball first, I thought. Hutchison now running onto it. Eventually, McGahey clears for North Adelaide, so they open it up towards the centre. Goshenko off a step, goes inside, perhaps not the best option. 2-on-1 and a free kick given away by Hargraves to Manuel.
Probably a little bit too Daniel Hargraves focused. Well, I mean, there's other blokes out there. If Brogan's standing in his space, look for another option.
South moving the ball pretty well now. Hall, across to Johnson. Player running on the far side for Newbury. He'll go that way. And he's still got time to wait for the bounce. Then he picks it up, chips it forward into the path, well, of a couple of players. I don't think Trent Mills was the target. I think it was Warren was coming hard behind him, but was good enough to pull up and allow his captain to take the mark. And he'll have a look at things from just outside the 50 and into what minimal breeze there is. Now on the lead comes Rogers, was it?
Yep.
And Rogers takes a nice little mark in front of the eyes. Good pass from Mills, just sat it up so he can run into it.
It's been a good contest, hasn't it? I mean, between Adam Morden and Tim Rogers. I mean, Rogers is working hard, but Morgan's actually using his probably greater ability, I suppose, to break even in the contest.
So 2-7 is the scoreboard for South at the moment, and that's been added to 2-8 for South Adelaide, plays North 4-3. And that is a difference of 7 points in favour of the Roosters at the moment.
You can see the scoring shots, 10-7. I mean, South Adelaide had most of the play. They've got inside 50, 17 times to 14. They should be at least be level. As they say, poor kicking for goals, poor football.
At the back of the pack, it's another opportunity with Hall. On his left foot. Gets it inside 50 at the back to Macy. Got the set, couldn't quite get over the top of the pack. Breaking through his manhood. Murray picked it up, gave it to his brother Alan. Gets to get it around another tackle, 2 tackles, steps inside. Just gets a kick away in hope, I reckon. Out in front of Warren, onto him Rivers. Ebel's back there too, and he'll take it over the boundary line. Good experience, and North get a chance to reset.
I don't think Alan Murray's ever going to die wondering what's actually going to happen in a game of footy. He's tried in a pack there, a reverse check side, trying to get it back towards the goal. I mean, it's almost a little bit too lairish, I suppose, to even try that.
Morgan taken high in the ruck contest. It's a free kick out towards the wing position. Good attack, good spoil. Picked up by Clay Sampson. In front of the Macy. Just run under it by Cook. Picked up by Eber. And I reckon he was going for the second white line before he kicked that. So full intentions, I reckon, to get it over the line and having a throw.
It's a very good way of disguising it. I mean, he just ran out of bounds. He kicked it out of bounds. The umpire's not going to ping him. Because he thinks he's had a reasonable go at trying to keep the ball in. You see now boundary throwing.
Oh, in it comes again, and Rogers got to the front, so did about 3 South Adelaide players, but, well, eventually they get the ball forward. Hall finds way into space. Off his left leg, he's got 2 in space, and he finds one of them, and that's Trent Mills, and the captain will have another shot on goal.
Well, Willie passed me. I mean, he was about the same distance last time. I suggest he may be looking for a pass. He may struggle for distance here.
Well, he's missed with a hamstring a couple of weeks ago, so we'll see how he goes. This may stretch his distance. It's a pretty good-looking kick right on the line, fading to the right. As we see, another minor score. That makes 2-9 for South Adelaide. Supporters must be a little bit perturbed.
I think their coach would also be very perturbed, I think, too, Neil. I mean, this is their home ground. They should know where the goals are. I mean, I suppose there's no wind here. They may train with wind all the time, but they should be really nailing these goals.
They kicked 17-7 last week.
It's a fair call. Newbury tries to give it up to Mills. It's another handball off. Just reaches Hall. Short pass again, misses target. So North with numbers with Knowles. Out to McGay, who's been a reasonable player. Kicks it in. Maybe should take it out and give the chance to reset. Does it now. Sampson was on his hammer. So North Adelaide defending stoutly because South just keep peppering the goals, but as we can see, they keep kicking points. Brody gets away, Brooks easily. Crab did well to Hall. Gave it off to nobody in particular, but Rogers said, I'll take it. Onto his left foot, kicking out wide. Orban Allen will make it, almost. Didn't quite get there, should have kept his feet. Ebel just keeping the ball, having a lot of trouble getting it up above his toes. Got taken eye a couple of times. Umpire didn't really want to give him a free, so Paul James will pick it up. Around his body, up to the wing position, finds Darryl Wintle. North Adelaide though, a little bit stagnant forward as he kicks now. Target there, great mark wide. Got one across the chops for his trouble. Picks it up, wants to play on, but you've got to go back behind your mark.
We'll be able to look for Heath Udy, who's come on to replace McAtee. Lille also on for McGahey.
So, nice little chip into Morgan, who's running down. Certainly running off of Rogers. Doesn't seem to want to keep with him.
Such as his namesake, mate.
Morgan. Long towards Hargraves. Front and centre, though. Paul South Adelaide. Around his body and trying to find a target in Sampson. He did it well. He just ran his player underneath it. Now, such as the grass here, it's a little bit longer and sometimes can be a bit slippery. So the bounce didn't come back to him. And he got a little kick off to Hutchison.
Hutchison, not much in front of him. He's got Hall putting up the hands on this side of the ground, but that would have been about a 70-metre kick. So he's kept it on the far side of the ground, gone short, and that's continuing. Hands it off to Sampson, back into the middle. Running for him was Rigney. Rigney now. And boy, they're really stagnant both sides at the moment. Rigney goes wide again. Manwood out there just takes the mark. Just boots it in long. Now it's 3-on-1 and, well, almost in the middle of the pack, a mark to Warren, but it comes to ground. James quickly. Now over the ball, South Adelaide. Oh, that was soft, I thought.
And they'll pull the game up now. The stretcher is on the ground. I can't pick up the South Adelaide player clutching his knee on the outer side.
And it's Dean Brogan. So way back at the other end in the back pocket for South Adelaide, and I'm pretty sure that was Dean Brogan's face I saw a moment ago.
It is.
And yeah, and that is unfortunate. And we'll have to look through the tapes to scan where that happened, because I must say I didn't notice anybody back there for some time.
It was probably in the contest that Daniel Hargraves, they kick forward to, the North Adelaide kick forward to, looking for Daniel Hargraves. Dean Brogan pushing back in defence, such is the way that Greg Anderson instructed his ruckman to play. He's obviously competed, come to ground. Now whether or not he's hurt the knee or whatever it's actually hurt in the air, or whether or not he's landed awkwardly, we'll see if we can get a replay off.
Looks like, well, I thought for a moment the way they were handling him that it might actually be an ankle.
He seems to be grabbing the back of his left leg. Just hope it's not too serious, because he's got such a career in front of him.
It's disappointing for Dean, because, I mean, he's worked hard. He's been training with Port Power since October. I mean, 6 months to be able to play footy, and all of a sudden something like this happens. You know, emotionally and mentally, it's going to could well affect him the time out he's got out of the game.
Obviously, have a long pause here. Both sides have huddled up at the other end of the ground.
It's one of those difficult times too when a stretcher comes on, because both teams get together and tries to keep, you know, everybody focused. See Trent Mills talking to his players there.
Yeah, this is where we think Brogan just coming across one of several players and clutching immediately at the ankle.
At the ankle.
So we just saw him in the middle of a pack and maybe 3 or 4 players there as well.
This may sound horrible, but
Be
I'm
better.
happy it's not the knee, yeah.
I thought you were going to say that. It's been said a few times. The ankle tends to heal a bit quicker than 9 months to 12 months out with a knee reconstruction. But either way, it's bad luck still for a young man who obviously has got a lot of talent.
It could well hurt South a lot today, because North are very tall. I mean, Brooks and Damon White and Lucas Herbert. There's a lot of tools in the North Adelaide side. Now, with Brogan going down, they're going to have to restructure. They're going to have to take a tall away from centre forward or full forward. You can see it here on replay again. Can't really see too much. I think he's just landed awkwardly. Yeah, probably.
It's not a bad shot here.
Probably almost landed on someone else's foot. There was a whole heap of foot area in there. Couldn't get his foot planted firmly on the ground.
What was it?
Yeah, it's very hard to say that. But planted firmly on the ground and has rolled his ankle, I believe, anyway. I mean, it would probably be ligament damage. As Jimmy said, it's probably not ideal, but it's certainly better than doing a knee.
Dean Brogan has been important. 21 possessions against Westies in round 3, and that was a victory for South Adelaide. 21 possessions and 23 hit-outs. 7 possessions and 18 hit-outs against Sturt in round 2. And that was a loss for South Adelaide. 12 possessions and 14 hit-outs against the Bays in round 1. And that was another victory for South.
Easy.
Just leaving the ground. It's been a long pause, 5 or 6 minutes. It's taken for them to be very, very careful with Dean Brogan. If you've just joined us, Dean Brogan off the ground with what we suspect is a pretty bad ankle injury. And meanwhile, at the other end of the ground, it'll be Tim Rogers for South Adelaide, kicking from just outside the 50, and accuracy has not been to the forefront for the Panthers this afternoon, and that is their 10th minor score.
Groundhog Day for you, Andrew Rogers.
It is. I just keep saying this, don't I? I mean, they keep missing to the left-hand side every time. Look, readjust your kick. Probably the thing is going for extra distance there, and your tendency is to hook it. Look, if you can't get the distance, kick it to the top of the square. Let's get our Crummers front and centre.
That's 9 behinds in a row for the Panthers.
Oh, that's frustrating.
very consistent.
North Adelaide going to run it out here. Herbert's had to go into the ruck by the looks of it, or he's travelled a long way down. He's beaten everybody there. Rigney with a handball. Hutchison just a bit slow to get rid of it. Ebert just stole it off him. Gave a little give off to Hargraves. It's going to be all Ebert's goal if he nails it, and he shouldn't let his teammate down. I don't think he has. It was a wobbly old kick, but he registered it. Fourth goal for Hargraves, but it was all Ebert's. Brilliant steal in the middle of the ground and got it down the corridor. But Hargraves kicks 4, and North Adelaide just keep doing the right thing in front of goal. They're 5-3-33. South Adelaide 2-10-22.
Yeah, the gods are with North Adelaide. Look at the drop of the ball from Daniel Hargraves.
yeah.
Ugly, and it goes through at the other end. South Adelaide executing quite well, just can't get it straight enough.
They probably think they're owed after last week's, 5 seconds to go, Port Adelaide kick a goal. I mean, the gods do work in that way sometimes. So, look, they're making the most of their opportunities.
Back in the centre, just into time on. As we mentioned, there'll be plenty of time on as we wait for a clearance. Won't come, so the umpire will have a secondary bounce. Tim Pfeiffer, the umpire there, coming into picture, and I reckon he's following our cameras around because I reckon he's been on every match we've done this season. As he bounces the ball. 11 points North, the better at the moment. South scramble the ball forward. First to react, Morgan. Just waits, dummies, and then cleverly gets a pass forward to Leal. Hands it off. Cook was running, so was Herbert. So was Foden. Closes just outside the centre square. His pass was beautiful. It comes to the advantage of Hargraves, and he finishes the job. When the mark was missed, Hargraves was there, and he did a very good job of getting the ball through the big sticks.
It was always going to be interesting after the Dean Brogan injury which team would settle quicker, and I think the senior players can have a real effect on that. You see that it was very smooth and very clean delivery through the forward line. Unfortunately, Brooks let it get through his hand. Daniel Hargraves, I mean, he's making his own luck by playing in front. He's getting the rewards on the board. I suggest that Greg Anson's got to look at that matchup and maybe have a look at a change. And actually, as I speak, I think Peter Johnson's been pushed back onto Daniel Hargraves.
Back in the middle, though. Lucas Herbert, easy tap. Mills intercepted. Got a quick disposal out. And he's playing with Jameson half-back, Morgan. He's a good battle with Rogers, but I reckon he's just starting to get on top. Swings the ball out wide. It's Paddock in front of Darryl Wintle. He can come from 55 and aim at the tall timber. One's Brooks in front, and he takes it. No, just spilled at the last minute. Johnson's on him. Over the top comes Rigney just to make sure that they get a bounce down right on the 10-yard square.
Just a quick update on Dean Brogan. The doctors are working on him. A sprain of the ankle was correctly diagnosed by Dr. Ginnivan.
Thank you, learned colleague, Mr. Parsons. Bounce down, Johnson slaps it towards the boundary line for safety, and they'll reset. But North Adelaide have definitely stepped up a gear since the injury time.
Yeah, it's certainly unbalanced, South Adelaide too. They've had to throw Todd Steele in the ruck against much larger and bigger opponents.
Well, we'll see how Steele goes this time. Brooks, well, Steele did well. I don't think he really meant to direct the ball straight out in front of goal, but it's really to North Adelaide's advantage. But Hutchison did well. Good possession gathered off the South. We'll get a figure on that in a moment as Manuel goes short. Well done.
He's probably just turned a few over though, Neil, hasn't he, with his foot?
Yeah, I know he kicked one out in the full before, which wasn't a very good disposal, but he's working hard. So South Adelaide. Now it comes to that fill-in ruckman in Steele. His hand pass over the top to Sampson. Sampson's chip set up Murray. Gorchenko was good enough to bring it to ground, but Damasi followed up pretty well. Gets it down the corridor. Down the wing, in fact. Maybe he should have gone to the corridor. Out of bounds. Rogers did well to smother it and at least get his team a 50-50 opportunity.
Yep, 10 possessions for Shane Hutchison, 5 in each quarter.
Clay Sampson has now been tagged by Scott Leal, and Clay Sampson had a big effect on the game. Daryl Hart's brought Scott Leal on to see if he can nullify him.
Herbert over the back. Crab, though, read it best. Got it forward for South Adelaide. Orman Allen couldn't get hand on ball. Evil took it towards the line, and he'll be satisfied with that result.
Probably I question Lucas Herbert there bringing the ball over the back on the halfback flank for North Adelaide. I mean, all the spaces over the back where South are going to run into it. Look, let's keep it in tight.
I can assure you that Coach Daryl Hart has the same opinion. You want to see the running going out right now.
He won't do it this time. Taps it forward down the line. It's a much safer option. Adams, very quick hands in there, looking for James. James did the right thing, kept the ball on the ground as he kicked it, and just gains a couple of yards as we throw it in.
So far this quarter, South have had 59 possessions without scoring a goal. North only 44 possessions with 3 goals.
It's playing the percentages, isn't it?
Yeah, we spoke about efficiency before the game, and that's exactly what we're seeing from North Adelaide.
So Rogers will try and work his way into the contest against Herbert here. Herbert gets it down easily, but Mills on his left swings it around. Morgan should take this and does so. Now moves it on quickly. Good grab. Bowden started the game well. Gets it out wide, a little bit too wide. Johnson on Hargraves. Johnson gets it away from Hargraves and works it to the boundary line. So that move was made just as Andrew Rogers suggested it. And it's still North Adelaide by 17 points. 25 minutes into the second term. Local footy at Noarlunga Oval today on the ABC. And a beautiful day for it. And it's been a good contest so far.
Yes, the South Adelaide club and their pre-match luncheon very keen to pump up the idea that it really isn't all that windy down here, and certainly it's a perfect day as manhood comes clear for the Panthers. Trailing by 17 points. They'll want a couple of late goals. That's a good mark from Blashenko going back. Cook doubles around the back onto his left leg. His kick, well, he kicked a 3-on-1 effectively, and South Adelaide able to bring it away. Sampson, the co-captain, brings it back into the centre. Damasi will take the mark. Umpire okays that behind play. Continuing had shepherded out a North Adelaide player. The kick in short, well done. And a mark to Newbury. And another opportunity for South Adelaide to add to their behind tally.
I reckon he's a reasonable kick, this lad. I'll back him in. Andrew?
I'm very quiet on that one. I haven't seen him kick before. Timmy Cook's, I don't know, decision-making there to actually kick to Scott Leal with a 3-on-1. You're kicking to a bloke who's probably about 5'6" against 3 other opponents. I mean, there had been a better option than that. And we've missed to the same side again, Timmy, as we continually shake our head here in the commentary box. I mean, they should be learning from previous experiences. I mean, I think that every side, they've missed to that side nearly every time.
Missed by 10 yards to the right. Let's just try and get it out that side. I think you're dead right, Andrew.
But down here at ground level, fellas, there is hardly any breeze, so it's not really a factor.
Casey, head over the football. It's a little give off. Knowles has got some time. He just nearly lost the football, but got it away. Hargraves in front, good mark. He's got some confidence up.
Just keeps presenting till Timmy. He's on the line. I mean, they just keep presenting. Of course, he demands the ball by looking for him. Peter Johnson just giving him too much latitude there. A little bit of a rough up there after the mark. I mean, they've got to try to do something to get Daniel Hargraves off his game.
That's fair enough. Make him earn it. And Daniel Hargraves, he's not unlike our efficient boundary rider, is he? He moves a bit like Michael Parsons, doesn't he? Not as good, though.
As he's kicking.
There he goes. He's going to kick from about 55. Got a good angle behind him here in the commentary box. Daniel Hargraves gets a little bit close on the man on the mark, but that's a good leg. That's a powerful leg, and does he get pumped after he kicks one? And so sure, he's already kicked 6. So he's on an absolute roll. North Adelaide have got 7. 7-3. 45, South Adelaide, 2-11-23.
Hargraves has only touched the ball 7 times, 6 goals, and he's hit the post with the other one.
I mean, he is really the difference between the games at the moment. I mean, North go forward, they've got a target to look for. He's presenting himself. South go forward, they're using a majority of players. I mean, there's a lot of players who are using it forward. They haven't been able to finish off the good work down ground. North go forward, take a mark, kick a goal, scoreboard pressure.
Danger signs for South Adelaide, 22 points the margin, deep in time on, 28.5 minutes in. And South Adelaide again managed to scramble the ball forward. Morgan took it well, and quickly onto the boot, up towards centre half forward. Wide at the back. Ormond Allen, who's been obviously moved into defence by South Adelaide with the punch away, and eventually the umpire will come in and take possession.
Adam Morgan's had a very good quarter here. He's really stilled up that back line. He's providing run out of the back line. Tim Rogers needs to keep presenting himself and or nullify the effect that Adam Morgan's having on the game.
Yeah, I'm a real rap for Adam Morgan, what we've seen over the last 2 weeks. This kid's got a future if he can keep the injuries at bay.
So Fountain just with the ball back inside the 50. Murray went at it hard. Uni got the hand pass off to James, and James found space, and who else? He seems to be popping up everywhere. And he's got 6 beside his name, and he'll go for 7. as we approach 30 minutes into the second term.
He's a smart player, Daniel Hargraves. He's played AFL footy. He knows when to suck off the pack, let your bloke go, you duck back, break into space. And that's all he did then. He basically let his bloke go into space. Peter Johnson got lost in the pack. Daniel Hargraves backed out of the pack. James found him with a kick. This could be 7 for a first half. And I mean, you're going from not really having any effect on the game last week to kicking 7.5. I think it more gets down to attitude more than ability.
So there's a kick, and he watches it drift away on the umpire. It is a minor score, so that's the first time he's got that far wide of the mark. As was pointed out before, he had all goals and hit the post.
It's just starting to get serious. 23-point margin to North at the moment. 55! Newbury at half-back. And ask you, Andrew Rogers, about Trent Orman-Allen. Would you move him down back, or would you keep him up forward as a target?
I mean, it's a delicate one, isn't it? Because the ball's not getting down forward, well, then he's a wasted play. If you put him down back, well, how are you going to kick a winning score? So Greg Anderson's got to really weigh that up as into which way he wishes to use Trent Orman-Allen.
Ball being pushed forward by Manhood. Now gets hold of it. Broke through a couple of tackles, did well. His handball off to Hall on his left. Big contest here, but that's a good mark in front. A lot of courage. Blashenko comes out wider still. White, contest come forward. Sampson front and centre. Good roving to Hall. Empty goal square, he can go long, probably won't make the distance. Coming back, Ebel. Good mark in the end. Running with the flight of it. And good full-backs mark that one. So 11 long quarter. They've had nearly 32 because of the injury time to Brogan, who hurt his ankle. Good switch into the corridor by North Adelaide with Wintle. Now drives it up towards Hargraves. One-on-one with Johnson. Got rid of him too easily. Turns around, straightens up at goal and nails his 7th. 7 goals, 2 to the big man. And he's kicked 7 of their 8, North Adelaide. They're 8-4, 52. South Adelaide 2-11, 23. And it's definitely serious now.
Geez, I wouldn't mind getting on to Daniel Hargraves and asking tonight's cross lotto numbers. To me, I reckon he's that hot, he'd know him now. He's just presenting himself. I mean, they're giving him a target. They're bringing the ball through the corridor well to one-on-one situations. When South go forward, you can see there's packs. There's 3-on-3, 4-on-4. Daniel Hargraves is able to do his work one-on-one. He's a little bit too clever for Peter Johnson. Greg Anderson might have to go to the book of tricks again.
Maybe Orman-Allen.
Could well be.
5-2 to 5 behinds in this quarter from North Adelaide. They've been obviously very efficient. In fact, relying what we talked about pre-game about the number of possessions for the number of goals that they've scored this season, being last in efficiency in the SANFL, as Knowles takes the ball out of the centre, an opportunity to send his side forward again. Just kicks it long, dropping back. Good contest stand, Orman-Allen, and he's hurt Laddams.
Yep.
That was brave stuff from both players, but really going against the tight Orman-Allen, really good mark. So South come onto this side of the ground. That's dangerous, but Sampson good enough to take the mark. He's got Hutchison running for him. He goes to Rogers, in fact, not Hutchison, they're all blondes. Back through the middle of the ground. Johnson's been moved up forward. And half-time siren sounds to bring an end to South Adelaide's misery in that quarter. As we see there, the score, 8-4-52 to North Adelaide, 2-11, 23 to South.
Come on, the Panthers! Greg Henderson, I think, would be very disappointed in that quarter from South Adelaide. Prior to today, they've won 9 out of 12 quarters they've played this year. So they've been very consistent, hard at the footy, use the ball well. They've gone back to the drawing board today. I mean, the game's not dead yet. Daniel Hargraves is obviously the difference between the game. I mean, he's been able to give one-on-one contests. Daryl Hart would be very happy, but also it's been the delivery to Daniel Hargraves that's made the difference. When South go forward, it's generally a pack. There's 3 or 4 blokes competing for the one ball. When North go forward, it's a one-on-one contest. Now, if Daniel Hargraves wins that contest, he's a very good kick for goal. He's going to win a goal. Really, Greg Anderson started bringing the changes towards the end of that quarter. I mean, he's going to have to look at his magnetic board in this half-time break, try to come up with some matchups for North Adelaide. North Adelaide have continued on from last week's form. They've learnt from last week's late loss, I suppose, to Port Adelaide.
So at half-time here at Noarlunga, the margin is 29 points in favour of North Adelaide. North Adelaide 8-4-52, South Adelaide 2-11-23.
Bridgestone Park in Noarlunga, Oval, Noarlunga Oval, Chapter 11, Becoming members of South Adelaide Football Club, sign them membership you get through, you'll receive a voucher of Sydney for an adult travel to Kangaroo Island. Valued at $64. A great incentive. Thanks again to Sydney.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
Right.
Go, boys, come on around right now.
Keep it short, sharp and shiny. They're trying to speed up the game, haven't they?
I bought it in last year. Oh, the
30 seconds. Be straight cue to camera again. Be straight cue to camera. First up, footy tipping feedback. 15 seconds. 10 seconds.
Well, Tim, you'd be pretty happy, I guess, if you're the North Adelaide coach, but I'm sure Greg Anderson will have words with his South Adelaide boys.
Yeah, very inaccurate, but I don't think it was any coincidence that when Dean Brogan left the Oval that the floodgates really opened for North Adelaide.
Well, how are your tips going? Let's just have a look at the footy tipping for the week at abc.net.au/SA footy. Get your footy tips in and your feedback. We'll have a look at the winner for the week, which was from round 3. Matthew Long. Congratulations to Matthew. Don't have an address on him, unfortunately, but obviously he's got on the net and got his footy tips in, and that address is wrong at the bottom. It should be abc.net.au/SA footy. The top 10, as we look at it, Barnesy leading the way.
Yeah, well, he's got a few mates with him too. Barry and Joe and Matthew are all on 18, so they've started the season well.
So, good result there. If you're in our footy tipping, please get on the net at abc.net.au/SA footy and give us some feedback as well. We always like to hear from the fans out there. Down to Michael Parsons on the boundary, and Michael, as a North Adelaide former player, you'd be mourning in some way the loss of the premiership coach of 1971 and 72, Mike Patterson, during the week.
Yes, a sad loss for the football community. Mike Patterson was a tough man, often seen jogging away from the scene of a crime. Tony Jewell during the week said that Mike Patterson could play and he could hit blokes too, but came to North Adelaide to coach in 70, 71 and 72, played in that famous 1972, or coached the 1972 team that was champions of Australia, and that team included greats such as Barry Robran, Bowden Jaworski, Bob Hammond. So he really did leave a mark at the North Adelaide Football Club, and then went back over to Victoria and coached Richmond for a little while. I think one of the great quotes from one of the administrators over there, Lindsay Fox, when he was sacked as coach of St Kilda, when he was asked, Lindsay Fox, why did Mike Patterson resign? Why did he resign? Because I asked him to. So that was from Lindsay Fox, but Mike Patterson will be sadly missed by the football community, and that's what the black armbands are for today.
Well, thanks for that, Michael. And gee, North Adelaide, on the other hand, they've certainly been honouring one of their champions with a fabulous first half. And Daniel Hargraves in particular, we said he couldn't get a kick to start with in the first couple of weeks, but he's done all right so far this afternoon.
Well, he kicked 5 goals in that term, and he's already got 7 for the half, so he's a guy that gets very excited about his goals too, which I think is great. It just lifts the whole team once you pay the dividends for the guys upfield that have worked their butts off to get the ball down to you. You know, this particular work was all Daniel Hargraves' goal, that one over his shoulder, but he's just been a very good target for him up forward today, and they've been efficient with the ball, more efficient than South, and South, unfortunately, in front of goal, have just been so off target, and it's like a disease. Once somebody starts it, you can't stop it, and they've kicked 11 behinds this afternoon so far. That was just great one-on-one ability to get rid of Johnson and then turn and make sure that you nail the goal. Finish off your good work. And that's what Daniel Hargraves has done today.
Well, it's quite a contrast, isn't it? I mean, he's kicked 7 goals too. One of those 2 behinds was a poster.
Yeah.
He's just been in fantastic nick. Compare that to the South Adelaide score of 211 for the first half, just 5 points in the second term, as opposed to North Adelaide's 8-4-52.
And the goal scorers for South, just the 2 of them, Orman and Sampson with 1 each. And for Hargraves, well, it's only 2 as well. Hargraves with 7, McEntee with 1, so that was easy done.
South 29 points behind, have had 4 more possessions. The leading possession getters for them are Clay Sampson with 16, Chris Hall 14, and a host of players with 11. For North, Brett Knowles 15, Adam Morgan at centre half-back 14, and BOG Hargraves had 9 important possessions.
Mike Parsons on the boundary.
Yes, thank you. I've got 2 players from South Adelaide that's got something very in common, probably not that keen about it. Kim Cobb and Brendan McKay, both supporting broken jaws. Firstly, Kim, how's the injury coming along, and when will we see you back?
Yeah, it's coming along pretty well. I did mine in the first week, and it's starting to really heal, and I'm looking to come back. I've got a bye next week, so probably the week after the bye against Nord, hopefully.
And Brendan, your injury, it's just happened last week, I think. How many weeks will you be out?
I'll be out between 6 to 8, so I have to work hard on the track, running enough laps around the oval and stuff like that.
And the teammates are underway again. How are they going to stop Daniel Hargraves?
Break his jaw like us, who might start there, but
we'll see how that unrolls then. Thanks, boys.
Thanks for that, Michael. As we see, third quarter underway, and just waiting. Could be another bad injury there. That does not look good, Andrew Rogers.
No, it doesn't. I didn't actually catch that, Neil. I didn't actually see who that is, and I can't pick up who it is. But I don't like the way they're around the knee area.
Looks like Newbury.
Calling for a stretcher as well.
Let's have a look at the contest here. Flies high, comes down.
Just landed awkwardly, I'd say, Tim.
If it's not Newbury, it's Hutchinson.
I think it might be the latter.
Yeah.
Shane Hutchinson.
Well, that's very unfortunate, isn't it? You just don't like to see any injury to any player, but gee whiz, when they happen so easily, and really nothing much that Dean Brogan, nor in this case Shane Hutchinson, can do about it.
Just goes up, comes down, and...
Oh, yeah. You saw the right knee turn in there.
Yeah. Very similar to the way Michael Wilson did his. No other player involved, but the way they come down onto the ground. Just happens a lot these days.
Yeah, it's just a fact of today's football, isn't it? I mean, the amount of stress you put on your body playing football.
Not tough like us old blokes, eh, Tim?
I'm just wondering whether it's actual surfaces, whether they are harder. And that was a bit early. We haven't had a lot of rain, have we? At this stage of the year, so coming down, there's not a lot of give in the turf.
I can understand that, Tim, if they were turning and their foot stayed locked in their knee move, but it's actually when they've come down from a height. So I don't think that's played any part in it.
Well, I never did that, so.
No.
Well, neither did Mike, that's the thing.
So there's the match up there. Well, let's hope it's not too serious, but it didn't look good.
Of course, this limits South Adelaide again with Dean Brogan already off the ground, and now another injury. They're left with one person on the interchange bench now. If they cop another one, they've got 18 blokes, and that's it.
Yep.
The man evacuating the interchange bench is the Marcy.
So, continuing with the ball, plays on. And
ordinary option.
Yeah, I don't know, that was fantastic. Sampson with the ball, tries to go to the corridor. On the back of a couple of people's heads, not a good bounce. Paris Bowden been clean with his work today. Timmy Cook works it out further still. Morgan has to turn inside and give it back to the running Ebert. Sent up forward, missed his target. That wasn't real good. Alan Newman's on the ground. Gets it off to Rigney. Switch wider still. Sampson's worked his way back as well as forward. On his left, normally good disposal. Mervyn just had to keep his head up. Take that one. Leal at ground level got smashed, but he did well to make a contest. Mills, quick handle back to Sampson, who started the quarter well. Got his target, Johnson. Johnson's trying to keep possession, can't do so. Morgan, they just jumped into his back and he'll get a free kick. So he's started where he left off the first half, Morgan. Winning possessions.
He was very good in the first half. Turned out Tim Rogers had a good start to the game. And turned it around on him, and is now the confidence player and dictating to Tim Rogers.
Yeah, you see Johnson was matching him up then, and he's moved forward, and it's Rogers, in fact, the full forward, playing on Daniel Hargraves at full back.
So, good kick by Knowles. Hit the target and wide, who came out. Wants Hargraves to move. Does so now, one-on-one, got rid of him easily. He is on fire, Daniel Hargraves, at the moment.
He's just showing all his experiences he plays on.
Unselfish that is too, isn't it? You know, after you've kicked 7, you could have easily turned your back on play, but he turned around and just chipped over the top to Laddams. And Laddams registers another one for the Roosters.
Yeah, very disappointing play. Would be very disappointing for Greg Anderson there to have a bloke on his own in the square that Daniel Hargraves can kick to. You can see here, it's just strength. It's just, he's playing chock full of confidence. I mean, takes an easy chest mark against Tim Rogers, needs to stand his ground, plays on quickly. You can see there's a choice of 2 North Adelaide players in the goal square. Very disappointing for Greg Anderson that his teammates have given them no respect and not manned him up.
Well, it'd be very unfortunate if you're a Hargraves supporter too that he handed that one off. And unfortunate for South Adelaide, but they come clear, and Trent Orman-Allen's pass didn't quite reach the mark. That was Alan Murray diving in. South Adelaide opportunity through Knowles. He'll get a free kick now. Continually tackled him late, but before that there was a high tackle.
South's disposal letting them down again, not hitting targets.
Well, I suppose it's spread from kicking at goal to not hitting targets around the ground for South Adelaide. Knowles goes wide. Running out there, Brooks. He's been good the couple of times we've seen him. And he kicks up the centre half forward. Big fly over the back. And that player looks to have hurt himself too. We'll pick up who that was.
Newman.
Higher comes to Rickney. He goes short. Murray. That is Derek Murray with the ball. And Newman's still down there at half back for South Adelaide.
His head is back, I reckon. They come down.
Yeah, we'll get an opportunity, I guess, with a replay in a few moments maybe to see just how he came down, because he did come down solidly, Tim. So the ball comes back. South Adelaide struggling hard. Damasi just gave it away and running wide onto his left foot. Warren hooks it back into the centre. Did well in the end. And a little bit of an accident with the binoculars up here. That's what all the noise was.
We have a taxi for Cross, please.
Hall will take a kick from just 10 or 15 metres out, and we just briefly saw Newman at the other end of the ground. He's coming towards the bench.
Yeah, you can see Warren just brought it back in the middle, did the discipline thing, could have actually had a shot for goal from there.
Maybe he should have.
And he's missed. But importantly, Tim, he's missed to the right side.
That's it.
They can adjust from that side. If he misses to the other side, the breeze takes it and you've got no hope. So at least he's missed to the right side. They're learning and they will get better as the day goes on.
Oh dear. Well, North Adelaide will work it out. Been a lot more efficient with the way they've used the ball. Brooks with it now. Counts possession, just puts this up high in the air. Running back with the flight of it. Lucas Herbert, that was really well done. The umpire said play on. I would have just given it to him for effort. It was superb. Orman Allen now tries to get it wider still to Sampson, who's been working particularly hard in this term. Alan Newman's having to come from the ground as Mills gets his possession into Catinnery. He hurt his back in a contest, Alan Newman, and now he's having to come off. So that's 3 down, I reckon.
Yes, Newbury's come on. There's a vacant bench space for South Adelaide.
Centre half forward with South, Murray to Murray, and a pass by Derek Murray to well, is that hanging on or what? Poor old Warren was just pulled around without the ball within the vicinity of about 10 yards, so went through everybody, and I just reckon Murray maybe should have gone to goal.
Yeah, probably could have finished. You can see the South bench there. Kim Cobb with his broken jaw. Unfortunately, he can't come on. They're left with no one left.
So, Orman Allen does well for South Adelaide. His hand pass out wide to Steele. Did well on the ground. The big man, he's in trouble. Umpire lets it go. Still lets it go. Finally, Tim Pfeiffer comes in. The police officer to take possession of the ball.
It's a big ask for Todd Steele, isn't it, today? Take over the ruck duties.
Yeah, North are not going to throw. They're going to say Lucas Herbert at him. They're going to throw Brooks, White. They're going to throw heaps of blokes at him. He's in for a long afternoon.
Well, he started pretty well. He got that tap, but it's come to Morgan this time and just toe poked it. Actually, not really to his team's advantage inside the forward 50 for South Adelaide, but it's out of bounds there on the far side of the ground. 33 points to the margin. Nearly 9 minutes gone in the third term. We just saw Newman going off the ground. This is how he injured himself. Whoa, out of control flight.
If you're going to get out that high, you don't know how to land, Timmy.
Yeah, nah, never a problem for me. Don't bother going up there.
Well, out of the ruck, or out of the contest over there, a free kick to Jackson Crabb, a former West Coast Eagle on the rookie list for Port Adelaide. Just chips it inside to Orman Allen. Not a lot of opportunities for South inside the forward 50, and that was touched in flight, I thought, umpire, and he's allowed that mark to be claimed by Wintle.
Damasi wasn't too happy about it.
Yeah, I think the umpire actually called play on, didn't he?
Well, it is play on now, put it that way, Michael. And North Adelaide comes clear with a long, high kick towards Herbert. He was at the front, and they get their numbers around there, and Cook's hand pass released Leal, I think it is, flying in and kicks it in long. Good entry. It gives Hargraves a chance. Well, that was spilled, perhaps should have been taken by North Adelaide. And in the end, flying through the air, South Adelaide will manage to get a ball up out of that. And they were perhaps a little lucky there that Rigney was able to stop North Adelaide from scoring again. Oh, he was desperate.
Great tap to Hall. They're out of trouble. Rogers got it to Hall with a beautiful tap. Johnson at half back now. Looking up, and there's not a lot of tall timber in the forward line for South Adelaide. They're all about my eye. Up there, Morgan just gets the spoil away. DeMacy sockers it along the ground and gains some meterage up to about the 50-metre arc for South Adelaide's half-forward line. They trailed by 33 points in this third term.
South really need to move the ball quickly now. They haven't got a tall forward line. They must play on at all costs, try to get the ball forward so that North can't get their structured tools back to block up the space.
All extremely short. The forwards, Newbury tried to get it off the back of the pack, but Ebel took it to Cook. He's tackled by Murray. Ball, nobody can actually get a clean possession in there. Ebel, nice little touch to Morgan. Worked it off to Wintle, got it off to Laddams, and they're away. Now, as I said, this grass is a bit longer here, and it doesn't bounce back to you. You've got to really thump it into the turf. So Laddams kicks it out wide after the mistake. And South Adelaide, Rigney and Rogers try to work it out between them, and they do so. Sampson clocking up the stats and hitting targets, which is good. Derek Murray coming in long. Newbury on a lead, should find him and does. Newbury turns around quickly. He's got Alan Murray if he wants to work it to the square. Kicks it long. Murray's working down. He just put too much on it and kicked a goal.
It's easy to be surprised, isn't it?
Oh, well done. A marvellous goal, and I backed you all the way there, Mr. Newbury. Great goal. South's first since the first term. They're 3-goal 13-31 to North Adelaide's 8-goal 4, is it? 58.
You can see Newbury wheel around here on his left foot. Junior left footers are very good kicks of the football. Goes forward, you can see umpire Cam goes over top of the umpire's head. He's always going to put up 2 goals. An important goal for South Adelaide to try to wrest the momentum from North.
He tricked me and Alan Murray.
South Adelaide with their first goal since the 10-minute mark of the opening term in this game, and immediately a chance to reply for North Adelaide. And that man Hargraves takes the mark. He's already kicked 7. He'll be shooting for number 8.
Yeah, North Adelaide get the benefit there of getting the ball out of the middle. They got a clean giveaway out of the middle. Tim Rogers mistimed his jumps. Perhaps he's not a defender, he might be more of a forward. Greg Anderson had to reshuffle his side around so that now Tim Rogers finds himself on Daniel Hargraves. He gets another pinger goal for number 8 for the day.
I think Greg Anderson needs to keep thinking about the full-back position. Rogers is really out of position there.
Well, Hargraves is in position, and having done that, let's see what the umpire thinks. Minor score. Having said he's in position at full forward, perhaps he's not. Well, he has got 7 after all.
Misses the easy one, kicks the hard ones.
He grabs wide. Chip pass too. And his teammate. How would he like this pronounced? Uni?
Heath.
I'll go with his first name. Neil, can you adjudicate?
Heath Uni.
Heath Uni.
That's unlegibly. It's a learned Heath Uni.
Okay, Heath Uni it is. Comes in. Just put it across to the right, I reckon, and missed everything and got it behind. So, North Adelaide 9-6-60. South Adelaide 3-13-31.
You can see the difference between actually shooting from straight in goal and staying it in the corridor, where if you go wide into the pockets, it's a lot harder to get kicks. You chalk up the points, you don't put the scoreboard pressure back on your opposition.
Lucas Herbert there made a contest steal, did well. Come up to Crab on his left foot, didn't quite reach the target. The Macy got it over his head quickly, looking for Johnson, who can't quite pick it up. Stolen well by Glashenko, put Knowles under a lot of pressure, and good tackle by Crab, but he did wrap the ball up as well in the tackle, so we'll have a bounce down.
Yeah, just a decision there by Glashenko. I mean, gave to a bloke flat-footed, but he's facing the wrong way with a bloke right on him. Probably not the right thing. Look, take your lot in life, run with the football, and then kick long to centre forward where you got Lucas Herbert.
Still making a good contest here. Derek Murray with the ball, pushing Warren, pushing forward, trying to get the ball over the back. It's going to be a race for it now, and nobody can hold it in. And we'll get another behind for South Adelaide, which is what they don't need. 3-14-32. North Adelaide 9-6-60.
It's good to see Adam Morgan's learning from last week against Port. A couple of times he made some poor decisions as far as being too attacking rather than defensive. Look, run it through for a point. Let's start again. We've now got the footy. Let's up to them to get it back off us.
Oh, good mark by Sampson. Plays on immediately, and he has a target in mind and missed it altogether. Bad luck for South Adelaide. Well, perhaps bad skills. In any case, now it's a bounce down 25 metres from the South Adelaide goals.
Clay Sampson is trying very hard. He's the only South Adelaide playing having a real influence, or midfielder having real influence on the game. It's being left of too few, unfortunately, at the moment.
Halfway through the third quarter, he's had 20 kicks.
Well, he's trying hard. So's North Adelaide, and more effective at this stage is Cook. Clears the area with a hand pass off to Leal, and then Casey, who was out of bounds before he even got that ball away, I think.
And North just trying to work it out of defence here. Just trying to work it around the line. Let's keep it close to the boundary line. Keep working it out so that South aren't within goal-scoring distance.
It's gone 16 minutes in the third term. 28 points the margin in favour of North Adelaide. Orman Allen took it out of the air, but in the end, Leal comes clear for North Adelaide. Kicks it down the line. Good pass. That should be taken. Nice grab. Gee, this guy's impressive, Brooks. Wheels around on the right leg. Goes up towards centre half forward. Another big mark, this time by Herbert. Harassed after the event.
A lot better today.
Been very good, hasn't he?
You can see Dean Brogan's influence not being out there. He would have been dropping back, filling in the space.
Herbert, oh, good mark. By the uni, it is.
Let's see if he's learned from his last kick. I mean, his last kick he missed to the right-hand side. Virtually exactly the same spot. We saw Daniel Ebert last week and last quarter against Port Adelaide missed twice from the same spot. Let's see if Heath Uni learns from his previous kick.
Well, this will make it really awkward for South Adelaide. And if you've just joined us, 3-14 South Adelaide score. And that was away to the right, so North Adelaide add to their tally only by the minor score. 9-7 plays 3-14.
I think this disease is spreading. I mean, they're kicking points now where in the first half they would have kicked goals. I mean, they just need a goal, probably just to steady a little bit, deflate South a little bit so the momentum changes back to North.
Rigney, just out wider still, finds another Rigney. Move it quickly with Catineri. Finds Hall. Hall will get back onto his left. Paints it up towards Warren, who just pushed his man under it and took the mark. And that was good work by the young man. Just got rid of Rivers and took his mark, and he's dead in front of goal. So he's got an opportunity here to kick his first of the day. And that was good work in the end. I believe recruited from Langhorne Creek, so good to see some South Adelaide country areas producing some players for them.
It's an important kick for South Adelaide. I mean, they've worked hard to get the ball down there. Let's get close enough on the scoreboard. They start taking North. They start thinking a little bit about losing.
Yeah, straight over the umpire's head. Nice one from Ben Warren. He gets his first, and South Adelaide get their 4. 4 goals, 14-38. Trail North Adelaide 9-7-61.
South are just working within striking distance. I mean, the deficit they had at half-time, you cannot just get back in one quarter. Well, you can, but you have to be lucky. Look, let's get it down to a reasonable deficit at three-quarter time and come out with all the momentum in the last quarter and see if we can roll over the top of North Adelaide.
Very sad South Adelaide room when I just went down to have a look then. Shane Hutchison got his knee heavily iced. It doesn't look like he'll take any further part in the game. And Alan Newman having his back worked on, and he's in some deal of discomfort. I'd be surprised to see him. Dean Brogan, as he's on the Power list, Power actually managed the injuries of their own players, and he's been taken away to hospital to x-ray on the left ankle.
Thanks for that, Michael Parsons. Doing his level best on the boundary to update us on all those injuries, and there have been plenty, unfortunately, if you're a South Adelaide, or for that matter, a Port Adelaide AFL fan.
If I'd have brought the boots, I could have got a game today.
Against your beloved Roosters, I wouldn't have thought so, Mike.
The ball.
So Brooks for the Roosters just knocks that away, and Sampson picks up another kick, just tumbles it inside 50. It's out of play before Newbury can get a hand on it. Nearly to the time on period in the third term. 23 points the margin in favour of North.
So Lucas Herbert and Trent Norman-Allen did well to get in front and win the tap. Got it down the hall, found the Macy, who was thought about taking off and then thought better of it. Dead in front, I'll go back and have a shot.
It's a very good kick for goal, Tim. I'll take that bet that you tried to have with me earlier. I reckon he'll kick this.
Need to win it back. Here he comes from 60. Good leg, just fading to the right. Is it going to sneak inside? I don't think so. Just to the right. And another behind to South Adelaide. 4:15:39. North Adelaide 9:7:61. Macy upset with himself, and he did go to that right again.
Yeah, it's frustrating for for South supporters. The team, everyone's getting frustrated by their missing. They need to clean it up.
Front centre Mills worked it out with a handball. Definitely having some attack now. Murray inside the manhood, steps around, gets a shot at goal in the goal square, and taking a touch mark was Rivers, and he decided to rush it for another behind to South Adelaide.
Yeah, they just keep building and building. They might actually catch him in points, Tim. They keep going at him with points. There might be a chance to catch him in points, but it's going to be a long way if they're going to do that. So North just need to steady now, just need the next goal.
We go to the far side of the ground. Well marked, Morgan. Like Brooks and White from the power list, and has been very impressive. His kick, though, wasn't all that impressive. You set him up, don't you, Andrew?
Yeah, you're good at it, Neil.
Thanks for that. So turn the ball over, and South Adelaide come into the corridor. It's Hall. Hall has a player loose in Murray. Hits him on the lead. That's Derek Murray. Turns around. Not a lot on offer in terms of leads, and as we said, they're now vertically challenged, South Adelaide, so they really have to look to go to leads. North Adelaide with all the big players. Ebel in trouble. Umpire lets it go. Eventually calls for a bounce, and what do you know? There are Panthers supporters here. We haven't heard much of them this afternoon.
You always see what you get with Ray Ebel, who's a great battler. He just tries his heart out every week. I mean, he was 1-on-2 there. He's done enough just to hold the ball in the air and to force a ball up.
The ball up takes place. It's off to Alan Murray. Just hooks it into the centre corridor. Mills following up. Might get the advantage. No, he won't. Still on the ground. Casey dives on it. Taps it towards the boundary line. Knowles is there. Oh, out in the full, I think. Yes! So Mills will line up. I think it'll be his free kick, and he'll line up from a difficult angle here.
Just feel as though at the moment North have got the staggers a little bit. They're just not reacting. They're not being as positive what they were in the first half. They just need to get back to being positive and not play negative football and try to catch up footy.
Trent Mills will get a good look at this one. Tries to bend it around. The crowd certainly likes it. So do the South Adelaide players. It's a goal to Trent Mills and a real team lifter as they go into time on in the third term.
I spoke earlier about having a large half-time deficit and reducing it to just a slighter margin there at three-quarter time. Exactly what South have done. They've given themselves a chance in this last quarter to run over the top of North Adelaide. Now, North would have serious doubts after being beaten with 5 seconds to go last week. Let's see if they've learnt from last week's loss to Port Adelaide.
Certainly feel the momentum swinging a little bit here at Noarlunga. Great work by Steele. Off to Orman Allen, off to the running Murray. Straight up the corridor, 40 out. Shouldn't miss from here, and has. So that's a disappointment to the South fans, because that was a great movement out of the centre. Steele's really competed fantastically in the middle, and he's very disappointed.
On the bench, Shane Hutchison has just come back out of the rooms on crutches, so definitely won't take any further part in the game.
Jimmy Cook bringing the ball back in for North today. Herbert should take that mark. Should have taken it cleanly, one grab. Wintle did the crumbing. Number Steele. Throwing the ball out Leal, wide. Beats all players, and Johnson will make sure that goes over the boundary line. So South Adelaide doing well to work themselves back into the contest. Only 14 points in it now. And it does set them up for a last quarter burst, but they wouldn't want any more injuries.
I think Daryl Hard will be looking forward to three-quarter time.
Well, South Adelaide will be hoping for maybe sweeping the ball to the other end. And, well, they've got an opportunity now as Rigney takes possession. This is Damien Rigney. His cousin's also playing in the side, Trevor Rigney. His kick wasn't the best, really set it up for the tall timber, and Herbert takes the mark. Looks to play on quickly. Approaching 25 minutes in the third term. He goes wide to Tim Cook, playing in the back pocket, but up the ground, as you see, goes in long. Well done by Rigney, but only managed to bring it to the front. So North Adelaide with another opportunity. Rogers in front. Ball to ground. Still possession. Out of bounds, forced there by the other Rigney. Trevor Rigney just takes it across the line.
It's important for North just to maintain their momentum here a little bit, and they've lost some momentum. Just maintain composure. Look, let's keep the scoreboard as it is. If we can get a goal out of this Forte, great. If we can't, look, let's just close it up for a little while and get ourselves into three-quarter time with this lead.
Well, that time it was Todd Steele's chance to rove the ball, and he kicked it back, but only into the hands of Casey. So North Adelaide will go into attack again.
Casey's short, finds Knowles. Middle of the ground, they'd like to get a late one here. Hargraves just spilled free on the second grab. North fans wanted it, but not paid. Probably a good decision. Derek Murray with the ball now. Anybody gets a late goal here, it's going to be important for both sides. Derek Murray just goes back that little bit. Oh, he's off, he's had the play on. Pressure on as the kick came out. DeMacy did well. Trying to get it to Hall. Ray Ebel. Good tackle by Hall. Brooks gets the loose possession. Up long and high, and good mark coming back. Steele. So he's really lifted to the occasion. Daniel on his left. Scollins Crab. Newbury and Rigney combined. Rigney stepped inside beautifully. His right leg hits a target in Warren, but he was pushed off of it. Rivers did well. And his possession wasn't great, but it's trying to find the boundary line, and it will do now. So it's sort of getting willing now, because I think both teams can sense that they've got a chance. North to put it away, and for South to actually get themselves right back in the clash before three-quarter time.
Yeah, really is set for a great last quarter, Tim.
14 points the margin. Herbert, Steele, and Herbert was too good there. Knowles, South Adelaide just working hard around those packs, and another awkward possession for North Adelaide. Now Coutinho takes possession. His play on, the umpire, well, he called advantage and sensibly called it back, because there really was no advantage. I saw one of those in an AFL game last night where there were 4 possessions, and the umpire decided there was no advantage. I don't know if that should be left go that far, but Coutinho, nevertheless, with a free kick in short to Crab. South Adelaide looking, hoping for a last-minute goal, and they won't get it because Morgan comes clear for North Adelaide. Now he's in trouble. A little bit of a basketball trick behind the back and got it away. North working hard again through Wintle. And then on to Knowles, slams it on the foot, too wide, ran out of real estate, out of bounds on the full. Well done to South Adelaide, congratulations, good pressure.
They really have enlisted lifted the intensity here. I mean, they've got a sniff of victory. Now they're playing with a little bit more emotion. They're playing on a lot quicker. They're using the ball smarter as I speak.
As you speak, indeed. Johnson gets hold of it. Let's hope he can do something. Norman Allen, just the chip over the top, finds Rogers out wide. He's got a loose one. Up forward. Steele turns around inside. Confused himself, got it to manhood under pressure. Possession came off to Rigney. He's trying to gain possession wider still with a handball. Luckily, Mills intercepted. Now kicks it up high, looking for a target, but Rivers got rid of Warren on that occasion. So Rivers in the back pocket, just holding things up, because I reckon North are waiting for that bell to end this third quarter, which has been a good fight back by South Adelaide. They were 29 points down at half-time. Coming out wider still. Picking up by Trent Mills again around his body, trying for that late goal. And Ray Ebel making sure that the ball goes out of bounds. 29 minutes played in this third term. 14-point margin. And it's still anybody's contest, and you just have to wonder whether North have actually forgotten how to win games. Can happen. Trent Allen slaps it forward. Running Sampson. There's been a free kick paid. It's coming back. And it will go to South Adelaide. Now, fair enough, I think Sampson was going to get tackled, so Coutinho takes his free kick. Very hard against the boundary line, and a good 45 out, so it'd be a crowd-lifting and team-lifting goal if he can kick it.
It's on the right side for a left footer. Timmy's going to wheel around and open up the goal face. It's going to be a difficult kick, but as Tim said, it could be really much a goal lifter, a real impetus into three-quarter time.
He hasn't given it a chance at all. It's out of bounds on the full. Didn't get it up to the face of the goal, so not what South needed. They keep peppering.
Andrew, it wasn't a goal lifter at all.
No. Very foreign. So it's Paul James right in the back pocket. And I reckon just go hard to the boundary line and try and keep it tight. Norman Allen again, that vertical leap trying to spoil away. South again get possession. Ray Ebel fighting hard to keep it to the boundary line, and they will. And I know they're going to reset because it's probably been the scoring end that South Adelaide are kicking to in this term, which is your left his screen. And North Adelaide will want to reset themselves for a big last quarter if they can hang on here.
See if they can hang on. Although Casey just got the hand pass out there going for the line, no doubt about that. And Cook was happy to be slung in that direction. It meant that he could disguise in some way the ball being sent over the boundary line.
I would much rather North Adelaide be proactive rather than reactive. I mean, let's take it up to South. That's how they got their lead. Let's not go rest back on their heels and just, you know, play the game out and try to save it. Let's try to win the game.
Well, Allen looked to go the big leap. The umpire said that was fair enough. In the end, Fowden comes clear for North, kicks it up. Good big mark. Ladham's over the top, and three-quarter time. And so, at three-quarter time, we'll have a score check. It's 14 points the difference. North Adelaide 9-7-61. South Adelaide 5-17-47.
Saw a total change in the game there. I mean, North Adelaide had control of the game at half-time and early in the third quarter. South, through just sheer hard work, they increased their tackling, they put more pressure on North. North started turning the ball over. They missed a couple of early shots at goal in that last quarter. Hargraves missed an easy goal. You saw Heath Uni miss a couple of shots from the pocket. All of a sudden, the whole momentum of the game changed. South have now gone in with all the momentum this last quarter. I mean, this is their home ground. They've got to protect that. North, it's up to North now. Let's see if they've learnt from last week. They need to win the game. I spoke about it last week and I spoke about it just previously. Let's win the game. They've got to kick some goals and not just try to hang on.
So which way will it go? Stay with us on ABC Football. At three-quarter time, it's South Adelaide trailing North Adelaide by 14 points. Well, Tim, all of a sudden, I think we popped up a bit early there, but never mind. All of a sudden, I think we've got a contest. Certainly didn't have one in the second quarter.
Yeah, well, it looked like North were going to run away with it, and South Adelaide, to their credit, just kept working away. Todd Steele, you know, he just broke even in the middle, and that gave him a look at the football, and it was quite good in the end by South.
You never know in adversity. Some things can pop up for you, and Todd Steele's one of them for South Adelaide. Now for North, Chris Ladhams, he's been important, and he's one of these players. He's come in and out of the game. We see here he makes the most of what he gets from Daniel Hargraves.
Daniel Hargraves again started the quarter well, but he missed a couple. This one was unselfish, just chipped it over the top and gave it to Ladhams right on the line. But North from there didn't really have much of an impact in that quarter. It was all South. They really were peppering away at the goals again, but not registering enough of them.
The last action in that quarter was a big mark by Ladhams. He's a promising player, but he just can't seem to make that step at the moment into AFL football. Of course, he is on the Adelaide list.
He is, and he is a talent. There's no doubt about that, and he can keep developing.
Now, look, South Adelaide waited more than a quarter, in fact, almost 2 quarters, I guess, for a goal. Ben Newbury finally provided it, and a lot of thoughts that this wasn't going to go to the goal.
I thought he was hitting Alan Murray with the pass, and Alan Murray did as well because he was running hard. But in the end, it was a fantastic goal, great leg, and aimed towards that right goalpost, which is what Andrew Rogers has been screaming for all day, and it sailed through.
And that goal was South's first since the 10-minute mark of the second term, and they kicked that around 18 minutes into the third term, so 2 quarters apart. And,
long time apart.
Well, they all came in a rush after that. Ben Warren got a goal as well, and you know, South Adelaide all of a sudden looked like they had some structure in adversity.
It was good work by the young man. I mean, he's had a good battle with Rivers. Rivers is a very good defender as well for a young fella. And Ben Warren's just worked him underneath the football, taking a good mark.
So we see there, big improvement there. 3 goals, which is more than they kicked in the first half from South.
3-6 to sort of 1 goal 3 was a good quarter for South as such as, you know, getting the scores, but would have liked a few more goals out of that 6 points.
Clearly Daniel Hargraves still leading the goal kickers. Look at that, 7 goals for Hargraves. They were all in the first half.
Yes, Ladhams and McEntee with the 1 each, but South Adelaide still all singles. Orman, Allen, Mills, Newbury, Sampson, Warren.
South really worked hard in that quarter, having 90 possessions to North's 61. Clay Sampson's had 26 possessions, 22 kicks and 4 handballs. Chris Hall 21, Jackson Crabb 18, Trent Mills 18. For North, Brett Knowles has had 22, Adam Morgan's had 21, which has been far better than Knowles' possessions. Hargraves 11 and Darryl Winter was up to 14.
Thanks for that, Ian Mogridge with the stats. And Tim, it'd be very interesting. We're going to have a listen to just what the experience of the coach Darryl Hart has to say with his rather inexperienced team about settling them down.
stay on line and we stand on our feet and take the contest. That's what we do. And then when we get a chance to finish goals, we kick through the ball, don't we? If we're going to miss it, let's miss kicking it, okay? But we just have to grab the ascendancy back by our ruckman starting again, right? And then our players, our smaller run-on division, getting inside. Okay, we were on the outside again. That's why we were chasing tail for the whole quarter.
And you can hear Daryl Hart just giving his players some final instructions. Spent a little bit of time with Daniel Hargraves when he first came out to the huddle. Really wants Hargraves to keep himself involved in the game, give himself those one-on-one opportunities. Also, when he wants his players get the ball in the back line, use the players in space. If somebody's given some run, honour that run, give them the ball. But Daryl Hart just looking for his players to get some one-on-one opportunities in front of goal for Daniel Hargraves. South Adelaide, well, John Griffin, he tried to give Derek Murray a real rev up. He feels he's a key player. Greg Anderson just wants his players to get involved. A big game, a big quarter was the call from Greg Anderson.
It is certainly that, Michael, and that spin move, I reckon, reminiscent of Michael's days on the basketball court. Started to get dizzy then, but yeah, obviously Greg Anderson will want to want his players to lift and lift again. He's obviously would be surprised at, or not surprised maybe, but very happy with the way they performed in that third term.
Well, they've got nobody to come on, so it's, hey guys, it's up to you. It's you 18 on the field, that's all I've got. Now, what you got to do is your work ethic. He keeps talking about it, and he wants it around the footy. Just keep at it, and you never know what result can come of it. Now, we got within, 14 points in that term. Let's work again. We gained 15, we can do that again, we win the game.
That's right, yeah, chasing down that margin, as Andrew Rogers talked about. It's bit by bit rather than looking at it as a big chunk, I suppose.
Yeah, well, that's their goal for this quarter.
Well, let's see how they go. Ready for a start in the final term. It's SANFL action from the Noarlunga Oval. South Adelaide trailing by 14 points at home against North Adelaide. The ball bounced in the centre and Brooks has been thrown into ruck and he goes over the top of the opponent, gets the ball down, but South Adelaide in the contest, overrunning it was Mills. Wintle got the hand pass out for North, it's scrambly. Finally, Ebert lost control, just at the vital stage. Well, finally, a clean possession. No, Rigney, his kick he was pushed as he kicked the ball. Finally, it comes across. Now we have a clean possession, and Laddams will kick from just on the 50-metre arc.
Neil, you can see the importance there of keeping your feet. We had a number of blokes who were just falling over. Now, whether that's a little bit slippery of the surface or whether it's the wrong foot attire, maybe they should be had screw-ins on rather than moulded. You can see the result here of keeping your feet. Laddams now has a shot for goal. First goal is going to be very important this last quarter.
Good leg. Great leg, Laddams. Registers another goal for himself. And North Adelaide, a great start of the last term. It's exactly what Daryl Hart would have wanted. They're 10-7-67. 20-point margin over South, 5-17-47.
You can see the ball on the halfback flank here. Keep their feet, keep our feet. A short little chip, Laddams out on his own in the corridor, directly in front. Now, a good player, AFL listed player with the Crows, finishes nicely, gives North back the momentum early in this last quarter.
So North back in the centre. Would like to double up on that quickly. South, on the other hand, need to register. Brooks over the top. Got it out with half of his players, but Sampson came off his wing quickly. Got it off to Hall. On his left foot, he's normally a good kick. Up the top of players' heads, though. Hitting the ball hard was Murray to Hall. Just waited his kick. Missed the target again. Knowles took a while to pick it up. Good tackle. And umpire said, throw it in because you're out of bounds.
You can see the difference between getting out of the centre, mates. North got the first one out of the centre, scored from it. South get the next one out of the centre. It's now in their forward line with an opportunity. North push back in numbers, try to bottle it up so that then they can run it out and score again.
It may be difficult to score from here, but you've got to make something out of nothing. Morgan Allen in front. Morgan did the ruck work for North. Tell you what, even in a bit of trouble there. Catenary overran it. Good handball by Orman Allen. Got out to Murray, round his body, should kick a goal and does. So they're still in this contest, South Adelaide. They get their sixth, 6-17-53. North Adelaide, 10-7-67.
Daryl Hart would be disappointed with how easy that goal came. I mean, there was a group of players around. Alan Murray had found his way forward to the contest. You can see in the action here, I mean, they're just forcing the ball forward. Alan Murray's got a lot of time, and where's his player? Why isn't he on the defensive side of him? I mean, only a question you can ask the player involved. Alan Murray, a good finisher, finishes with a goal. We're back to square again. The momentum swung again back towards South Adelaide.
So we're back to where we were at three-quarter time. 14 points the margin. Low-scoring game, but I tell you what, it's been helped along by 17 behinds from South Adelaide. The ball down again, and he's confident enough still to take it out of the air. Unfortunately, it's forward from Knowles, the big kick into the forward line. Johnson's got the ball, and he's surrounded by Roosters players. McGahey took him to ground.
Yeah, they spoke about revving up Derek Murray 3 times. He's been very well controlled by Daniel Ebert today. He's played on him all day. Derek Murray is very much a key player in this last quarter.
So Johnson gets the hand pass wide. Leal did well, tapped it down to himself. Oh, smother. Johnson followed up his work. Well done. Now to Ormond Allen. Tried to work Knowles under the ball. Almost gave away a free kick. Knowles working hard. Finally, he's got the ball to his advantage. He takes it towards the line, and that's probably to his side's advantage.
Did very well there, Brett Knowles. I mean, he was a 2-on-1, totally out of position. Worked the ball to the line. Now he can, North Adelaide can set up again and provide 50-50 contests. I mean, that sort of efforts could mean the difference between winning and losing.
Just have a look at Hay here. He's done pretty well in the ruck team. It's not a normal position for him. On that occasion, Herbert just too big and strong.
Just sock it off the ground forward. Working hard, Crab trying to win possession. Continuing in there to Rigney. Work it out, Murray in front, did well, did very well. Took the mark at centre half forward, wants to release Warren if he can get there. Warren does well. So, good combination from the young fellas of South Adelaide. Good kick, just waited it out in front of him.
Yeah, Timmy described it perfectly there. I mean, he got back quick, he moved the ball quickly so that North Adelaide couldn't get back in numbers. Warren had some space there led into, led to the space. And all Alan Murray did was just kick it out in front with a little bit of height. He made his own pace to the football to see him have a shot at goal now.
He's already kicked one in the third quarter. He lines up now. This is a must for South Adelaide. He's pushed it wide, stays in. Murray's kept the ball alive, but Ebel runs it over the boundary line for another behind for South. So probably needed to be a goal. 6:18:54 South. Trail North 10:7:67.
They keep peppering, and then they get the ball down there enough. Of course, the goals are going to come. They've just got to finish off a little bit better, and if they finish off a little bit better, they're going to run away with this game.
Steele comes over the back, knocks it forward into the 50. Rigney did well, a little hand pass, I think, to Crab. Crab did well, a little hand pass to Murray. Murray around the corner, bounce, goal! Oh, look out, here comes South Adelaide.
I spoke about Derek Murray's importance not less than 2 minutes ago, and you can see there, he's a quality player. He can really finish, he can really hurt you with his possessions. Hasn't had a great day. Daniel Ebert's had a good effect on him all day and tempered him quite well. You can see here, I mean, I don't like him turning the football. He probably should have had time to run straight at his target. When you're as highly skilled as Derek Murray, you can probably get away a little bit more than the average Joe. It's a great finish for South. South have the momentum, kick the last 2 goals of the quarter. Let's see if North can respond.
Derek Murray had 3 kicks in the first half and 9 since.
So Knowles works it out of the centre. This is a must for North Adelaide if they can respond quickly, because just get the feeling maybe Greg Anderson saying, hey, this team doesn't know how to win a game, so we just got to keep persisting. Laddams works it into the pocket looking for Hargraves. One-on-one, he got rid of his opponent well. Looking for the ball back, didn't get it. Rigney going to take the ball over the boundary line, been legged. So McGahey just grabbing hold of his boot. Now it's Rigney to get a free kick, moves it into the centre for Derek Murray, kick the last goal for South. That's with a handball backwards to Rigney. He's run on. Not a good kick because Fowler should take it. He doesn't. Good attack there, good contest. Hall with the crumb. Has a bounce, going to get shepherded by Murray beautifully, and there's a free kick paid. Now, whether that was because it was too high, the umpire saying yes, the shepherd was too high, but it was a beautiful shepherd. And 50 metres because Derek Murray wants to tell the umpire that you're incorrect, sir.
Yes, Tim Cook this down. I mean, just chasing the ball. You can see the replay here. Just saw Alan Murray come from the corner of the screen. Tim Cook had his eye on the play. Alan Murray's come from the blind side. Can be sometimes deemed as charging. I mean, it's up to the umpire to determine that, as is so many of the rules. That little event there could actually change the event of the game.
See what happens here. Cook taken out. Geez, he looked like a good shepherd.
Well,
may have hit his head when he went to ground.
I'm sure he hit his head pretty hard when he went to ground, but you have to wonder at the law there, and you say, well, the only thing that he possibly did wrong was he left the ground when he shepherded. Aside from that, it looked pretty straightforward, but that's up to perhaps to the tribunal, or maybe nothing will come of it. Who knows? It's a free kick anyway in 50 metres, and another long pause while Tim Cook, who obviously, there's a bit of concern about him.
I mean, I do feel for Tim Cook. I can remember Greg Whittlesey got me in one of those very same situations, and he was a well-built man, Greg Whittlesey, let me tell you.
1988 for Gary Madness?
Yeah, and it was 88 when he hit me. It was a beauty, and the gentleman he was come back and said, look, I had to do that, sorry about that. Picked me up. What a champion, eh? What a champion. I said, oh yeah, whatever.
At that time you wasn't sure who was talking to you?
Yeah, I didn't know what day it was, but he was a fair player, Greg Whittlesey. But Timmy
down
Cook...
down South Adelaide territory, I think, down at Kangaroo, down that way?
Yeah, Yankalilla, I think.
Yankalilla.
They can play, yeah. But Timmy Cook will have a bit of a headache by the looks of it.
Yeah, while you blokes reminisce, we'll get back to the game that's actually happening here today. You can just see Tim Cook, unaware of the player coming, gets met very heavily. I mean, it's open to interpretations by the umpires, but now this is important because Tim Cook's very important as far as his. We spoke earlier. He's played over 100 games of football. He's been playing in the back pocket all day, cool head under pressure. He's going to use the ball well. I mean, this all of a sudden has some similar effects to what North has, as what Dean Brogan going off is what to South.
Yeah, good point.
It's an interesting point, isn't it, boys, when we're sitting around, all us experts, and we're not sure what the interpretation of the rule should be. It's clearly an area that the powers that be need to have a look at, and everybody needs to be really clear, including the players, what's legal and what's not.
I think that's a great thing about our game there. I mean, there's so many different interpretations.
That nobody knows the rules.
That's always been the case.
But it's a great thing about our game. I mean, it's open discrepancies now. Umpires make mistakes the same as players do. Tim Junior never won a McGarry medal, and there's a mistake in itself. But all I'm trying to say here is that they are human and they will make mistakes, and it comes down to individual interpretations.
I remember taking a sign to the umpire's dinner one night, showing him how to spell it. Didn't work. But this is an important time in the game now. We'll have a very long quarter because of the stretchering of Tim Cook, who we hope's okay.
Yeah, I suppose that's the thing that we shouldn't forget in all this. Tim Cook, I think you could say that he really did hit his head pretty hard on the ground, regardless of whether there was high contact before that. And he's obviously shaken up by the whole event, and the trainers taking untold precautions, just taking their time, making sure that he was okay before they put him on the stretcher.
He's okay, but he is an important player to North Adelaide, so...
Best and fairest last year.
Next goal is an important one, isn't it, you know? It's going to be the momentum that's going to swing this last quarter one way or the other. So we restart play. It's up forward, up the way, on ground level, Steele picks up, spins out, now gets his handball off. Quick kick out of defence. It's only Murray against two tall North defenders on the ground. Wintle tried to get position, Hall got it. Switch the handball to nobody. Continue's trying to earn the football, does well. Pushes it forward again, looking for the boundary line and finds it. So up on the centre wing, outer side of Noarlunga Oval here. Local footy on the ABC. It's a great game, only 7 points in it. It's North Adelaide 10-7-67, South 7-18-60.
Interesting to see how North respond. I mean, they responded well from the Dean Brogan stop. Let's see who responds better now.
Well, vertical leap. Who else? Orman Allen takes possession. That helps South Adelaide get forward. Continuary, that man is at half forward. Just chips it over the top to Crabb. Crabb takes possession, approaching 50. He's probably about 60 metres from goal. Turns around, belts it in with the right foot. Warren is in front. The ball comes to the front. Murray with an opportunity. And around the corner, Eagle does well. Very solid defender for North Adelaide. Belts it outside the 50 again. Back there was Crabb. Well, I thought he was going to play on there, and so did the North Adelaide player.
He's been a good player.
The Crabb now around on the right leg.
7 marks, 18 kicks.
drives it in. Warren at the front again, makes the contest. Hall through with a spin, and this should be a goal. Hall into open goal, lovely goal. Brilliant piece of roving and a great finish, and that hasn't happened too often for South today.
As I said, if you persist, you keep going forward, eventually the behinds are going to stop and the goals are going to come. Chris Hall, here he is, front and centre. He was the player that went front and centre. You can see him play on, bust through a pack, just through his strengths, a very solidly built young man. Plays on quickly, kicks a goal. 3 goals to 1 this last quarter. Although momentum's with South, someone has to step up for North to change the momentum of the game.
Yeah, you just wonder, don't you? You know, the 29 points up, thinking, well, we're going to have a win here. And it's the worst thing you can think. Back in the centre, North should have everything going for them. Ball favours Steele. He'll take it out of the contest. Can't get a possession away because he's tackled well by McGay. Wintel's dragged down the tackle by Catenary. Hall again, very active. Gets it back on the 1-2 from Rigney. Onto his left foot. Misses the targets. Taking it hard, Morgan trying to come through. Picked up by Klashenko. Bit of panic stuff there, you just feel, in the North Adelaide unit. As they work it to centre half forward. In front, White must take the mark and does. Turns quickly, looking for, won't find Hargraves. One bounce, he attacks it hard, slipped out. Laddams, cleverly, keeps the ball in front of him. Keeps it away, Hargraves tried to tap it back. Did so. Lille tried to get away. Tackled well. South now with an opportunity. Sampson, good hands. Back in a 1-2. Finds somebody in the middle of the ground if he can make it. It's Crabb again. Working particularly hard on his left. Looking for a target. Mills. Casey on his hammer. Spun around in a tackle and goes to the ground, and the umpire gives him the benefit of the doubt. Well, if it bounced down 60 metres away from the South goal, who only trailed by a point.
Sorry, Michael.
Yeah, just come back out from the North Adelaide rooms. Tim Cook, heavily shaken up, but he is okay. The neck's fine. The doctor was just checking the rib cage, but it looks like Tim Cook will be okay.
It's good news for Rooster supporters. McGay, good news for Rooster supporters, clears the defensive area, gets it out to the wing and out of bounds.
Such a similar situation to what we had against Port Adelaide last week. I mean, North just in front, Port Adelaide coming at him. Let's see if they've learned from a little bit. Let's not try to, as I said earlier, not try to save the game. They've got to score to win the game.
So Brooks is number 13 for North, and he's beaten by Steele. He's done a fantastic job since he's gone into that run.
It was a real worry, wasn't it, when Brogan went off, and early on we saw a bit of a blowout, but he's worked his heart out, hasn't he?
Another ball down, Steele over the top, palms it down to Crabb. Crabb was impeded, but that's okay. According to the umpire, off to Foden, eventually it came from North Adelaide, and he scrubs the ball forward to Wintle, and Rigney, hot on him, takes him down and out of bounds.
He's enjoyed playing today, Rigney, hasn't he, since he's got on?
It's going to be interesting to see if someone like the captain, Darryl Wintle, didn't play last week, whether he can be a cool head in a crisis.
He needs somebody to stand up in these situations and kick the winning goal. Knowles around his body. Up forward, wide in front. At least he's providing that target. Wants to go long, one-on-one. Hargraves is calling it. So he's going to go and battle one-on-one with Johnson, and well done, Johnson. Held his ground this time and thumped it through. Rogers, I should say.
Yeah, the kick was actually to the wrong spot. Daniel Hargraves is pointing out more towards the top of the square. As you can see here, the kick's too close to the inside. You put it out further in front of the square, gives his Crummers a chance. All Roger had to do was punch it through for a point.
I know what I mean.
This is manhood. I don't know who he meant to get that to, but he didn't quite make it. North Adelaide with an opportunity. Umpire pulls out a free kick. Just burrowing in there, the North Adelaide player. And that was... Who's that over there? It's a long way away. It's Heath Uni. And Uni just drives the ball up. That's a better position, at least, for a marking contest. And Laddams, quick ball to boot. Rogers tracks it back for South Adelaide. He'll clear the zone for South. Kicks it over the top looking for Sampson. Sampson does well. Hammers it away from his direct opponent. Now they've got some numbers. Off to Clay Sampson. He's got a bit of space. He uses as much as he can and then thumps it long looking for Murray. Outpointed at centre half forward. Oh, another collision. Ebert, the man who outpointed Murray, takes the ball and takes it and gives it off to McGay inside the centre square still. And with a couple of players loose on this side of the ground, he's set up. And well done, coming over the top, South again. Manhood knocked it free. Now Fowden being tracked by Orman Allen. Could it be? No. I'm going to say, holding the ball there. Looks suspiciously like Parrish didn't have much intent of getting rid of it.
I don't think Parrish has got too much left in the tank either, by the look of him.
Well, remains to be seen how much North Adelaide has in the tank, whether it's that is the problem or whether it's just inexperience, as they're being tracked pretty hard by South at the moment. Jackson Crabb, he's been very good. He couldn't get his handball away properly. Now it's off to Knowles on the left leg, squeezes it round the corner. Andrew Rogers doesn't like that, but the outcome is pretty good for North Adelaide as Herbert takes the mark. He'll go long to the square, look for Hargraves, edges into Rogers, who did well, got to the front. It comes over the back eventually. Manuel takes the ball, gets it over to Hall. He's got about 450 metres in front of him to use, and instead he just kicks the ball. Well done by Murray. Got his man under the ball. This is Derek Murray. Closes on the forward line. His kick was absolutely awful. As a result, again they can clear the area, North Adelaide. It opens up for them. Leal thumps it in looking for, well, Rogers. Oh, a free kick. Just hesitated there and wait for the umpire's call. And Rogers was deemed to have illegally shoved Daniel Hargraves aside, and Hargraves will have an opportunity to add to his 7 goals. What did you think, Andrew?
Off camera, Derek Murray's got his, he's down on one knee with his hands in his head. I think he'd like to have that kick again in his decision-making, and I was about to say previously, decision-making is going to be really important in this last quarter. Who makes the right decisions at the right time? Daniel Hargraves, pressure on him. Probably kicked 7 goals in the first half. This is his second chance in the last quarter. He finishes this.
Umpire has a good look. We'll wait and see. Oh! Well, Ashley Manuel was going back to the line as quick as he could to grab the ball in an intention of saying to the umpire it was a behind, but the umpire was satisfied it was a goal. So North Adelaide steady.
Yes, an important goal. Daniel Hargraves stood up when it needed to be counted. And you see him just get edged underneath the ball. Certainly milked it for everything he got. Tim Pfeiffer, a experienced umpire, has paid the free kick. He finishes with a goal, and now it's up to South now to respond.
We just talked about Parrish Fowling looking very tired. He's come off for a rest, but looking around, the North Adelaide boys are definitely looking weary.
Rigney brings it out of the centre. There's going to be plenty of time in this last term. We've got a stretcher with Tim Cook, who was cleaned up in a Shepherd. Ebel brings it out wide here. Sampson's going to try and keep this ball in. Keeps his feet as well. Everybody else lost theirs. That's intelligence. DeMacy back with courage. They allow the ball to spill free to Newbury. He's normally a good kick, but he went to the left again. Out wide, it's still alive. Warren. Coming out wide is still Plashenko. Defence from North Adelaide. They can still work it up the wing to find Wintle. They're alive as they move it down. Laddams one-on-one. Cleverly. Manhood disappointed with himself. And Chris Laddams will settle things down, have a shot at goal. It's on the right side for a left footer.
You can see North have gone forward twice. Hargraves kicks a goal, Laddams has a shot at goal. South go forward twice. 2 bad decisions. Derek Murray makes a bad decision, and then they don't finish with a goal that time. I mean, this is the difference between the game at the moment. Laddams finishes this. It's now out to South need to kick 3 goals to win the game.
Played 21.5 minutes in the last term. There should be about 31. So Laddams pushes it out to the face of it. He's gone that other side. It's still alive. Herbert in front. Knocks it off hands. South are trying to rush it. No, they're going to work it out now. Johnson with the ball on his left. Won't find hole and hits Price. Price come on for Fowden. Price check. That's what it was. Over the back. Catenary trying to work it out. Back in there again. Head over the footy. Orman Allen jumping up. Without the footy, goes back for it. And the umpire says we'll bounce it down. It's tight and it's hard at the moment at Noarlunga Oval. 8 points the margin.
See North decision-making again. I just spoke about it. North chipped it around. In this type of game, if you're unsure, let's kick the ball along to the top of the square. Put the pressure back on South. I mean, if you don't take a mark, get your crummers front and centre, it might just get the result you need.
Well, it's time for a coffee break there while Tim Pfeiffer steadies himself and bounces the ball. Herbert put his big body in front. Continuing put his big body well, little body over the ball, and as a result, he's gone to ground behind the play. We'll keep an eye on that as Crab comes clear for South. Running through the middle, trying to make space is Hall, and the delivery along the line to Derek Murray was pretty ordinary. And Ebert intercepts off the Price. He'll come back on the left leg. Looks inboard, and he's got somebody there, and he misses Knowles by a clear 10 metres. As a result, another opportunity for South. They raffle it a bit, but they get it away.
Mervyn continuing still down, attended by 57 trainers.
So the kick comes out to Ebert. He gets rather Ebert. Then to Leal. The delivery was pretty good. Rogers has done well at full back, moving there from centre half forward. Free again comes the ball. Knowles, better delivery, left leg, finds the big man in Herbert, and Herbert will take his time, have a look around and see what he's got on offer up forward.
Just needs a cool head at the moment, Neil. Just someone to step up, just to slow the play down. If I'm going to have a shot at goal, let's make sure I have a shot at goal, eat some time up. And if I'm going to have a shot, I'm going to make sure I'm going to nail it.
There's that experience.
One on in the pocket.
And yep, I was just going to say that, just that experience. He asked the umpire when everybody's looking at the mark. He manages to lay off the pass to McGahey, and McGahey will shoot from perhaps 30 metres. Difficult angle though, I must say.
It's more the time they're wasting, I suppose, more than anything, Neil. I mean, they've probably wasted a good minute here while they've been round here. I mean, it's important if he kicks a goal, but he's also wasted a lot of South Adelaide's time trying to get back into the game.
McGahey lines up. And just puts her across the face of goal. Plenty of players up there. I think it might have hit the boundary. It did. It hit the post at least. The behind post and out of bounds. That's what I meant to say. Tim, yours.
8-point margin. This is a vital play for both sides. Herbert tries to get it to his Rovers. Price in pursuit with Hall. He's been a good player. Just weaved a handball to Manhood. Will go again, the 1-2. Made Rigney work for it, but he got it back to Hall. So 3 possessions in a row for Hall. Must hit a target. Newbury makes a good contest. Murray tackled with the ball, and I reckon holding the ball, and he knew it. Superb effort by little Scotty Lill.
Just goes to show how small the bloke is. You can always bring down a bigger bloke, and good work there by Scotty Lill.
Good tackle. Good chip pass. Shenko.
Let's see if North have worked on this during the week. I mean, last week they didn't try to chip the ball around. They tried to keep attacking. Let's just chip the ball around a little bit and eat up some time.
Long, target White. He's made a good contest today. Wintour in there trying to dig it out. Looking for Uni, but it was all smothered. Johnson tackled around the leg. Not paid. Wintour quickly kicks. A talk. Laddams can get on the end of it. Can take off. If he gets around back on that left foot, it'll be dangerous. Now Hawks, and might have just gone wide. He has registered behind for North, but they are peppering the goals, and they're back with the momentum in their favour. 11-9-75, 9-point margin over South, 8-18-66.
That's a good kick in. It's out to Damien Rigney on the far side. Called to play on now. I don't think Laddams was quite aware he'd been called to play on. That kick has led to a turnover. Now it's back to Laddams. He's got, well, he had Herbert clear in the middle, but even longer with that shot. It just fell into the hands of Hargraves, and surely, if he can kick this, I think it's all over.
It's just that decision-making. I've spoken about it a lot in this last quarter. South turned the football over. Laddams gets the ball on his feet quickly. Hargraves gets a benefit from playing in front. I mean, can really finish off a great day for Daniel Hargraves here with this goal and put the result beyond doubt.
Hargraves has 8, 7 of which came in the first half, so it's been a bit of a dry spell, you could say. Might have a touch of, what's he got on there? A bit of sunburn cream on the left cheek, it looks like, as he comes in. Lines up, he's got 9, and North Adelaide look like they will beat South Adelaide for the first time since 1999. And the Roosters fans, you see there, they're scattered. Believe me, there's not that many of them here. They've made the trip, but they're pretty happy.
Wouldn't get too excited yet if I was North Adelaide. There's still a lot of time on to be played. We've had a stretcher, etc. I would think we'd still have another 4 or 5 minutes. So 3 goals in 5 minutes, not impossible. As I said, Daniel Hargraves gets a reward for playing in front. He's a very excitable bloke. It's good to see him back in form. He's a quality player. I mean, he played state footy last year. So it's great to see him back in form, and let's hope that South can respond and give North something to think about this last 5 minutes.
15-point margin. Crab has been good today for South. They've had to work hard. So have North. Knowles pushing the ball forward. It's loose. First opponent, Scotty Leal, should give off and does. It's going to be Laddams on his left. This is what he loves. He loves this situation, and he's very good at it. That's a fantastic goal on Laddams. That is his third for the day. And he, along with Hargraves, has done some real damage in front of goal. And that one should be the sealer.
Yeah. I mean, it's a great finish by Chris Laddams. I mean, he's on the AFL issue. Scotty Leal, left-handed handball forward. I mean, I question where Chris Laddams' player is, I suppose. I mean, he shouldn't be that far away from him. See him run out to the right and hook, run out to his left, hook it back. I mean, generally left footers are very good kicks. So highly skilled Chris Laddams, he's excited. North Adelaide should be very happy with their day today.
I'm sure at some stage if we get a shot of Daryl Hart on the bench, he'll be a very relieved coach at the moment. They've cracked it for a win early in the season by the looks of things, and they go forward again, and Laddams gets under it again, edged his man. Umpire was prepared to let it go and then decided no, that's a free kick. And the sheepish look of Laddams gives away the fact he thought that was pretty fair. And he doesn't look all that relieved, does he, Andrew?
No, he didn't look too happy. I suppose he's more worried about the process and how they play. Sure, it's great to have wins, but he wants to see genuine improvement in his side.
Well, South probably inadvisedly wasting a bit of time going through the back there and switching play to this side of the ground. There's not a lot on offer. I think the run in the legs is perhaps just about gone, and that's shown by the fact White got back, took a very nice mark just in front of us here. And that's showing good sense for a young man, just holding things up. 29.5-minute mark, content to just take his time with a 21-point lead.
Yeah, should kick it close to the boundary. Let's keep it close to the boundary. Big Lucas Herbert is down there. Let's kick it to him. The worst thing that happens is it goes out of bounds.
He's gone a little bit more inside the corridor. Sampson, who's done some clever work today. Manhood now. Amber won't reach his target. But Crab gets it back inside to Manhood. On his left, still persisting South. I'll tell you what, they can be pleased with that. Great grab by Murray, centre forward. And there's been a clash. Umpires, players. Looked like a 10-pin bowling. Derek Murray came across, he didn't see the umpire. The umpire didn't see him. And then his brother got involved and they all fell over.
I don't think you'd be too happy for the Port Power hierarchy. I mean, one of your players gets stacked by an umpire.
So Murray's kick out wide finds its target. Steele. He's going back a long way for his kick. He's going to have to kick from about 55. He knows he hasn't got a lot of time. Goes with a drop punt. Just hits a square. Orman Allen in front. 2 grabs not paid. Just spilt free. And the umpire said, sorry, you didn't quite control it.
Yeah, I'm very frustrated with Trent Orman Allen. He did everything right. Great vertical lead, caught it to the front, just didn't quite bring it to ground. It just fumbled him as he was bringing it to ground, hence the ball up.
Right in the square too. Orman Allen trying to keep it alive. On the ground, well done to Macy, I reckon was. Just snuck it through, he did. So gutsy effort. And South have been gutsy today. I know the scoreboard's weighted in the points factor, but you know, they've lost 3 players today and they've just kept persisting. And North Adelaide, with their cleaner skills and better work in front of goal, will win the day, but Orman Allen just gets a hand to it. And Macy finished it.
Yeah, smart play there by the South Adelaide. So Chris Hall run forward. He realised that North were going to try to knock it through for a point. They get on the goal side of their North Adelaide opponents. Chris Hall can't get his foot to the ball. Tomasi in the same area gets his foot to the ball, gets a reward for being intelligent.
For South, Hall's had 33 possessions and Sampson 32. For North, Knowles has had 29.
Knowles seems to have gone out of the play a bit in this last quarter as Paul gathers another stat, and his kick just over the head of the target. Coming in was Newberry, towed it to himself. Now an opportunity, taken high, get the free kick. Now they can have a pinged goal, and perhaps another goal for South Adelaide late in this match. Travelled over 30 minutes, we're up to 32 minutes. And Newberry, like he's lining up the check side. And the result was a minor score. Just didn't take his time, I guess. I guess that's sensible enough in many ways, Andrew.
Yeah, time is of the essence, of course. What he needed to do, when you're kicking a check side, you should always need to point the ball up. He didn't get any innovation with the ball. He needs to point the ball up, kick on the left-hand side of the ball, I suppose, if you're a right footer, and on the right-hand side for a left footer, and give it some elevation. Otherwise, it's not going to come any good.
Did you follow that, Tim?
Clear as mud.
Knowles brings it back in. Steele at the foot of it. There's Murray. Allen out wide. Hines Hall has really been a worker. Derek Murray dropped what he should have taken. Recovers quickly though, as you'd expect, to his brother. Spins out of trouble around his body. It's not going to make the distance. Beats everybody, and the siren ends the clash here at Noarlunga and produces North Adelaide's first victory. The Roosters 13-9-87, South Adelaide 9-19-73, a 14-point margin, and Daryl Hart and North Adelaide's first win of the season.
Yeah, an important victory for North Adelaide, and obviously a very, not demoralising, but a significant loss for South. Had a very good chance to go to 3-1 for the season. On their home ground, we're expected to win. North Adelaide certainly continued their form from last week, continued their form from last week from Port. So well done to North Adelaide.
And Mike Parsons is down with the victorious coach, Daryl Hart.
Yes, Daryl, a competitive effort last week and a victory this week. How does this set up the club?
Oh, just a victory, I think, Michael. God, we made hard work of a game that we should have controlled, and you get out of it in the end. But you know, it's great to win a game, but I think we want to be better than that and not put ourselves in that situation. So there's a lot of work to be done, but it's certainly we get a chance to relax tonight. But you know, it's not a good way to win a game, I don't think.
It was scrappy at times, but there must have been some positives you could take out of it. Daniel Hargrave's presence in that first half in particular.
Yeah, and then in the second half we didn't want to kick it to him for some reason. Look, there's just some things that we made bad decisions at times that should have been better, that should have made the game easier. So that's what we need to learn from. But it certainly beats what we've gone through in the last year and a bit. So as much as a little bit frustrated now, I'm about to sing the song very loudly and very proudly in the rooms.
We'll sing it with you, Darryl. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to North Adelaide. That is just their second victory here at Noarlunga, and it's the first time they've won since 1997, a 14-point victory, Tim.
They'd be very happy with that, and you've got to enjoy your wins. You've got to enjoy your wins, and you know, Daryl will do that with the players tonight, and then they'll refocus on next week, but you've got to enjoy when you get them.
Yep, absolutely, and there haven't been all that many wins as they come off the ground to some rapturous applause. Now our next game will be on Anzac Day live from 2:40 p.m. That is Anzac Day on Thursday. It's the grand final rematch between Central District and the Eagles, and certainly a lot of noise for the small number of North Adelaide supporters that have actually made the journey down here to South Adelaide, and it's been a fantastic victory for them. And Tim, thanks for your company this afternoon. Thanks to Mike Parsons and Andrew Rogers. We'll see you on Anzac Day.
Knowles 15, Adam Morgan at centre half back 14, and B.O.G. Hargraves had 9 important possessions.
Mike Parsons on the boundary.
Yes, thank you. I've got 2 players from South Adelaide that's got something very in common, probably not that keen about it. Kim Cobb and Brendan McKay, both supporting broken jaws. Firstly, Kim, how's the injury coming along and when will we see you back?
Yeah, it's coming along pretty well. I did mine in the first week and it's starting to really heal, and I'll looking to come back. I've got a bye next week, so probably the week after the bye against Nord, hopefully.
And Brendan, your injury, it's just happened last week, I think. How many weeks will you be out?
I'll be out between 6 to 8, so have to work hard on the track, running enough laps around the oval and stuff like that.
And the teammates are underway again. How are they going to stop Daniel Hargraves?
Break his jaw like us, so we might start there, but
we'll see how that unrolls then. Thanks, boys.
Thanks for that, Michael. As we see, third quarter underway, and just waiting. Could be another bad injury there. That does not look good, Andrew Rogers. Player, but gee whiz, when they happen so easily, and really nothing much that Dean Brogan nor, in this case, Shane Hutchison can do about it.
Just goes up, comes down, and
oh yeah, you saw the right knee turn in there.
Yeah, very similar to the way Michael Wilson did his. No other player involved, but the way they come down onto the ground. Just happens a lot these days.
Yeah, it's just a fact of today's football, isn't it? I mean, the amount of stress you put on your body playing football.
Not tough like us old ones,
I'm just wondering whether it's actual surfaces, whether they are harder. And that looked a bit early, we haven't had a lot of rain, have we? At this stage of the year, so they're coming down, there's not a lot of giving in the turf.
I can understand that, Tim, if they were turning and their foot stayed locked and their knee moved, but it's actually when they've come down from a height. So I don't think that's played any part in it.
Mike Parsons on the boundary.
Yes, thank you. I've got 2 players from South Adelaide that's got something very in common, probably not that keen about it. Kim Cobb and Brendan McKay, both supporting broken jaws. Firstly, Kim, how's the injury coming along and when will we see you back?
Yeah, it's coming along pretty well. I did mine in the first week and it's starting to really heal, and I'll looking to come back. I've got a bye next week, so probably the week after the bye against Nord, hopefully.
And Brendan, your injury, it's just happened last week, I think. How many weeks will you be out?
I'll be out between 6 to 8, so have to work hard on the track, running enough laps around the oval and stuff like that.
and the teammates are underway again. How are they going to stop Daniel Hargraves?
Break the ball like that, it might start there.
We'll see how that unrolls then. Thanks, boys.
Thanks for that, Michael. As we see, third quarter underway, and just waiting, another bad injury there. That does not look good, Andrew Rogers. But gee whiz, when they happen so easily, and really nothing much that Dean Brogan nor, in this case, Shane Hutchison can do about it.
Just goes up, comes down, and
saw the right knee turn in there.
Very similar to the way Michael Wilson did his. No other player involved, but the way they come down on the ground.
It's just a fact of today's football, isn't it? I mean, the amount of stress you put on your body playing football.
Not tough like us old ones.
I'm just wondering whether it's actual surfaces where they are harder, and that looked a bit early. We haven't had a lot of rain at this stage of the year, so they're coming down. There's not a lot of giving in the turf.
I can understand that, Tim, if they were turning and their foot stayed locked and their knee moved, but it's actually when they've come down from a height. So I don't think that's played any part in it.
Well, I never did that. So.
No.
Well, neither did Mike, that's the thing.
Well, there's the match up there. Let's hope it's not too serious, but it didn't look good.
Of course, this limits South Adelaide again with Dean Brogan already off the ground, and now another injury. Left with one personal injury change. Now they cop another one. They've got 18 blokes, that's it.